I'm so glad I live in Colorado. I gotta tell you, that California is for the birds, man.
There's strong Californians. It's a beautiful state. There's too many Californians.
Oh, there's way too many Californians in Colorado. Or in California. Damn Californians. I'll take a New Yorker over a damn Californian every
Two New Yorkers over one California.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. First of all, their gasoline, you know, you go from $2.40-ish to over $3 like in a heartbeat.
Yep. That's because of the state income tax.
And their tolls are outrageous. We got a
See, we didn't have any toll roads.
toll roads. We got a rental car, and then like
Yeah, from the airport, my
a
God.
month and a half later, we get a bill in the mail.
Oh shit, I didn't even.
Yeah, and they already, as part of their policy, if you go through tolls, we'll send you the bill. It was like $40 or something.
Really? Tolls?
Yeah, and when I went through 2 or 3 times, I don't remember. We were hanging on the.
It was really a nightmare. Traffic on a Saturday. No, it was a Friday. Now, we left on Sunday, go back to Nevada, and it was fine. But I couldn't believe it. My kids heard some colorful words when I found out what they were searching for. I just, honest to God, couldn't fathom. A, why someone would smuggle in fruit from Nevada into California. It doesn't even make any logical sense. And if that is what they're truly doing there, who the hell cares? I would guess Walmart gets its fruit in the same place, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Aren't almost every orange from Florida? You know what it is? They probably put a tax on that shit. You've got to declare an apple and they charge you a nickel or something.
So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you a needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/easyhire for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/easyhire.
What'd you do Father's Day?
Went to lunch with my son.
Where'd you guys go?
Just a real fancy place called Qdoba's.
I got the burrito with rice. I won't eat that crap.
Really? I like Qdoba.
Oh, Qdoba's. Man, first of all, they almost killed half their people a while back.
What?
Their stock crashed like it.
Not Qdoba. You're talking
Chipotle,
Chipotle.
Oh, you're right. My bad. Qdoba's. Which one shoves all the rice in it? Is that both of them?
Both.
Yeah. You get ripped off, man. You go in, you drop $12 on a burrito, and they give you rice. Come on.
Yeah.
And that rice is nothing but sugar. That's bad for you. I find myself just sounding more like Tom
I
every
was
day.
going to say that.
These pricks just give you sugar, fatten you up, then the damn hospitals get a hold of you. Dad having legal issues.
And you come back from vacation, you jump right into the pit. You're on your own. You sound like you're ready.
Yeah, I'll try to get back in the groove. You know how hard that is for me.
Okay, we're up.
So my password, all that shit works fine.
Perfect.
Man, that's a weird deal. So Mike emailed me and said he found some kind of bug or something. Or not like in that account, but where other people have had that issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought at one point on last week he told me he cleared something under Tom's thing and got it fixed, but I guess that didn't work.
Well, I thought he said that when he looked the last time, he said, hey, I don't find Tom there. And you're right. Tom deleted himself.
So I still give the phone numbers out. They call, you guys answer. You just got to tell me what to put up.
Has a program to fit you. They can help you with that consolidation.
I don't even know what that means. Oh. Is he qualified to do that? I don't know.
They are going to be completely debt-free. Mortgage and all.
Nah, you kidding, man?
867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Equal opportunity lender regulated by...
Brandon, everything's up for you?
Yep.
You got your contract?
That spot's got a horrible ting to it. Are they from downstairs? You think that's why? fruit. I just don't get it. Does it have to do with bugs, pesticides? What does it have to do with? It drives me crazy. Brandon Sigley, please help me out. Do you have any idea why? They check for fruit.
You're an attorney. You should know this stuff.
Like I say, I drove through California maybe 6-7 years ago, and we had that stop too. I can't really remember what exactly they were after, but I think it is.
When you said Colorado, I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is a way to search for pot. But then it dawned on me, California is legal. Nevada, I believe, is now legal. Everybody's smoking pot. So it has nothing to do with pot because it's been going on for a long time.
Right. I think it's all to protect their fruit industry. They got the same thing when you come in from foreign countries, but yeah, I don't really get how
they're their own little nation out there.
You think United States fruit would be sort of fungible and transferable wherever? And I flew out there a few months ago and didn't have any declaration.
Nothing.
Fruit I brought on the airplane, so that was good.
When you land, like in Mexico, or especially when you fly back, you've got to declare, over $10,000. Do you have any fruit, any pets, blah, blah, blah. Right. But driving from California to Nevada or Nevada to California.
Republic of California.
I simply don't get it, and I apologize if you're from there and you love it there, but, man, it's its own deal. It truly is its own deal. The beach was nice. Kind of. Like I said, it was cold. But, it is what it is. All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We've got a lot going on. I've got to get a little caught up here. Dan, give me any news on Springs Automotive. This is the one where they fixed the Sprinter van, or they said they fixed the turbo on the Sprinter van, and they basically didn't install it right. We ended up at Mercedes at Littleton. They had an independent adjuster come out, and we've been waiting for the report back.
Haven't had any updates, so I'm thinking no news is good news, but we can check with them after.
Well, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of nothing going on with that one. We've got Ryan Wood, one of our attorneys on the referral list. He wants to wait a little bit because he thinks they're going to go ahead and do something about it. But, I mean, at this point, I don't know what to say. I happen to know that the independent adjuster basically said, yeah, these people screwed up. I'm not going to say how I know that, but I'm telling you I know that. So why the insurance company at this point isn't paying out, I have no idea. So please, let's get working on this one again, or I got to light that guy up in the Springs again. Yeah. I thought finally he came through. Here's what I'm worried about. They went back to their insured, and what's the full name of that place? What is it? It's Springs Automotive and Truck Service Center?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I think they went back and said, yeah, you screwed up, and he's like, well, I don't want to pay it. So now he's probably the stop. What was that guy's name over there? He picked a fight with me. He picked a fight with Tom. What was that guy's name? I don't even remember the guy. He's just, God. I
can't remember him either, Mark.
People have got to do the right thing. How about the landscaper? We sent, before Suzanne and I left, we sent Mr. Green Jeans out to look at this guy. He spent $16,000 with this landscaper, and the guy decides he doesn't want to do anything. Where I remember it being left off is Mr. Green Jeans said the job was so bad that the landscaper should pay the caller, okay, just to get it fixed.
Right.
So what happened?
So that's it. It's still sitting like that. Daphne was just pulling up his record. It sounds like the guy's got a couple pages on him and stuff. The Nipples guy.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're calling him.
Put his info up.
It's Naples or Naples.
Put his info up, please. He's the guy that was going to sue all of us. I mean, my God. He was going to sue everybody. Then we sent an expert out there, and we find out that he just did the worst job. Please put it up so everybody out there, it's landscaping season, can avoid this guy like the plague. Because this guy, in my opinion, is almost an outright ripoff. I believe our expert, Mr. Green Jeans, on our referral list at referrallist.com, that the job was so bad, that he should get all his money back, and he should actually pay the caller to have it fixed because he did more damage than good. I want all that information up so I can warn people of that company. And, man, I'd like to get Ryan on. Yeah, now that he's working for that guy, I don't think Ryan could talk about it. Brandon, if you're working on a case, you're not going to come on the air and talk about it, are you? Generally not.
Generally, it's
Why?
Bad form. Well, a couple of things. You don't want to become a witness in your own case by making statements or admissions in the case itself.
Got it.
You might
You can talk facts.
You can talk facts. You might be boxing yourself into a position that you're not ready to take. If there's a jury, you might be tampering with the jury pool. That's not to say that you can't talk about it per se, but certainly there's reasons why.
Yeah.
And you have confidentiality issues too.
I get you, because, you know, most attorneys, no offense to you, but they're kind of chicken. I mean, honestly. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of this Cosby mistrial? Did you see that coming?
I did. Well, I didn't really get too much into the details of how they mistried or what the jury's.
Well, it's 50, 60 hours. What I'm curious is how many jurors were no and how many were yes. I mean, were they trying to convince one person, or were they trying to convince everybody? Okay, everybody hang tight. Ryan, Chuck, Will, you guys hold tight. Bear with us a little bit today. We're having a few phone issues, nothing big, but we're working through it. 303-713-8255, and I'll talk about Ryan Napples and Stone Falls Landscaping when we come back.
Is brought to you by Belco Credit Union. Starting off in Weld County, Highway 52 still shut down between Weld County Road 3 and County Line Road from the earlier.
One guy that is, you know, Huxtable's not going to do anything wrong. That's
Exactly.
it, man. He hangs that whole thing.
Yep.
And Rudy showed up with him. That little girl, or, you know, she's a woman now, but what do you make of that?
I didn't hear about it.
Oh my God, it was a hung jury.
Oh, yeah, they did. They didn't make them. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't realize he was facing 20 years.
Yes.
Maximum.
So I'm going to run to the post office. I'm going to get that out of the way, and then I'll come up. As far as the fruit and stuff, I think it has to do with bugs. That's definitely why they don't.
Bugs from Nevada?
From other countries. They just don't want that cross-contamination. That's what they say.
Then why don't we do it? Why doesn't
But they
Nevada
take
do it?
our
Why doesn't
water.
everybody else?
Yeah, they take our water. And have no problem there.
Well, you have to take our water.
Yeah. Oh, and Dan,
Yeah.
that chair, you know, I'm not chair, the lift thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to schedule that not knowing what Tom's schedule is.
I agree.
So I can't schedule that.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't even talk about it until, let's say, and didn't Allie, how did she leave it with him?
She put it to me, and I'm like, well, Tom's not here. So I'm going to have to
And
put
Tom
it to you.
wants to film it.
He wants to film it, but it needs to be coordinated and when Tom is available.
I got to be honest, if whatever he wants to do, but if they don't want to be on video and help us out with what we do, why the hell are we giving them anything?
Yeah.
Because the guy volunteered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
For
to
them.
Oh, for them?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're all
okay.
not asses.
Okay.
Through us, through
Well,
the
it's
show.
bullshit. I mean, we're giving them whatever, and they don't want
to.
to.
Cliff wants to give it, and I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, if it happened that way, I get it.
The wife just doesn't
Want to be
on
filmed, but I don't know
video,
why
so-
he can't film them dropping it off.
We could have
Yeah.
Dan over there measuring her just like he did
Tom doesn't want to negotiate.
the other lady.
You get a bad rap.
Dan could be the lady.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, Genesis, wink. Let me see a pen. Oh, I have one.
Having little problems with that camera. I've never had problems with that camera before.
Which one?
The one that looks at you.
Nice.
I had to reload it, and
Does it work now?
yeah, it's working now.
Our 3-week closing guarantee where we underwrite and approve your loan up front. Our home buyer scouting report where you search for your next home so that when we find the house that works for you, close and close quickly without overpaying.
IdealHomeLoans.com. 3-867-7000. Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA. NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45 IDEAL.
Okay, radio.
Bob Seger, the Silver Bullet Band. From rambling gambling man to the fire inside and beyond. Bob Seger, the Silver Bullet Band catalog is now available. When he sings, you believe it. When he plays, you feel it. Listen to all of your favorite Bob Seger songs. Streaming now on iHeartRadio All Access.
Hail and severe storm season is here, and that's why you need to call Golden Spike Roofing.
You got kids, Brandon?
Yeah.
Good Father's Day, then?
Boys, yeah. There's good bad.
You like a wolf?
How old are your kids?
Putt golf. I got 18, 11, and 9.
Say it again?
18, 11, and 9?
18. Wow. 2 marriages?
No, just one marriage. But
Oh, wow.
my wife lost some twins in between there. So,
I got it.
So we'll get out there.
That's kind of cool, though. How old are you?
42. But actually, we weren't even married when I had our first kid, so it was 5 or 6, I think. We got married, so. 18, 11, and 9 are right in the issues. Yeah, right. I know. It's like got one out the door, and then well, he's not even out the door. He's like hanging out. Still gonna hang out until he's got some money saved up. He doesn't want to go to college yet, or knows what he wants to do yet. So. Tell you what, they don't always just automatically do what you think's gonna happen. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I remember is between like 9 and 12, how much more expensive shit got. Because their toys used to be so cheap when they were little.
Our first kid, we used to do Christmas at the dollar store. There's 20 gifts, you know.
Oh, and they loved it.
You had toys?
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. All right, let's go to
Jim. Jim, what's going on with you, man? We're trying, like I said, folks, you got to bear with us a little bit. We're trying to get through a phone issue. Jim, are you there, man? Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, sir? Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, it's California fruit flies. They've been doing it ever since the 80s at least.
Why, though? What's the whole point of searching fruit from Nevada?
Well, because they don't want fruit flies coming in and hurting the egg crop.
Okay, so fruit flies don't fly?
Now, Mark, somebody else called and said it was a problem 10 years ago with Mediterranean fruit flies that were infesting their fruits out there. So
10 years ago.
But that was 10, not 80, so I don't know.
Say it again.
They did it in the 80s. I was stationed out in Alameda, California for a while when I was in the Navy. And when I drove my car back out, I had some fruit with me. And I told them these are bananas. They come from South America like almost all bananas do because they're no longer, most bananas are dying out. I had to eat them there or throw them away.
Ah, man. Only in California. California fruit flies. All right, Jim, I appreciate that. I don't know. Fruit flies. I don't recall seeing any fruit flies. I guess it's possible. I'm not a fruit fly expert. I don't know why there's no other states. Does Florida, does anybody else check for fruit coming in and out? I have no idea. Let's go to Ryan, see if we can help him out. It looks like his dad's having some issues. 303-713-8255. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yes, hi. My dad, you know my dad, he has a brain problem.
Ryan, I do not know. Do you mean I know him? Have I heard this before?
No, Tom Martino knows him.
He knows. How does he?
You've met him.
Ryan, how does he know your dad?
My dad sold his house years ago when I was about 5 years old, and I fed his horses.
You fed Tom's horses. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So how can we help you today?
In studio before.
Got it.
My dad has a brain injury from falling on some rocks and has a seizure disorder. Well, he had a mental breakdown, and nobody noticed it. And he bought a $63,892 car at 80 cents, but he bought it from Hyundai on Arapahoe.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was normal for him to buy it.
What kind of, hold on, what kind of Hyundai is $63,000? Was it a Genesis? What was it?
Yes, it was the Genesis
okay, now when
G80 Sport.
I understand. So help me out here, though, Ryan. When you said he had a mental breakdown, are you saying he was so out of his skull he shouldn't have been buying a car?
No, he has bipolar issues, and he wasn't taking his meds.
Okay. Well, I don't think Arapahoe Hyundai has any issues here. I mean,
no,
how would they know that?
They wouldn't. They absolutely wouldn't. And because he was having a mental breakdown, he wasn't thinking clearly. And my dad needs to be able to afford his medication.
Okay.
And he didn't mean to buy the car.
Well, once again, so what do you think should happen? If you had a magic wand, I'm sure you'd want the deal undone, but who takes it in the shorts? The dealer?
That's the ultimate question that I'm trying to ask. Is like, I want to be able to take the car back, but the car is sitting in their lot since he bought it.
Wait. So he hasn't even taken possession of it?
No,
it's never left?
Hasn't.
Have they put any miles on it?
No, they haven't.
Do you have the paperwork on this deal?
I do, but it's in my dad's old car, but I have their number.
Well, I can look up a phone number. I'm saying I need to at least look at the deal. It's been sitting there for how long?
It's been sitting there for about 2.5 weeks. And I called them 2 business days after he bought it to tell him, hey, he's in the hospital. He's in no position to buy the car in the first place. He's in a psych ward.
Did he put any money down on it?
Yes, he bought the car in full.
With cash?
Cash?
No, I think it was a check for him.
Well, okay, that's what I mean, though. He didn't finance it.
Wow.
No, he didn't.
And it's sitting down there right now.
Yes.
And he never even drove it off the lot.
Never drove it off the lot.
Was there a trade-in involved?
On Facebook. No, I don't think there was. But there's pictures on Facebook of him putting the sign in the car and also him sitting in the car right before they put it in the parking space to hold it for him.
Well,
We should be able to help with that, Mark.
What do you mean?
right?
What are we going to tell him to take it back? Well, let's call over there and see if they'll do something.
Dear.
Since they never took possession, maybe a shot at it. But, I mean...
'cause he can't even afford his meds for his seizure that keeps him alive. You know what I mean?
Well, how did he get... Where did the $63,000 come from?
That's a good question. None of us know where it came from.
See, this is why... Maybe this guy wanted this car. Where's your dad right now?
He's in the ICU up at Porter, and he is unconscious. He had about 4 seizures up at the psych ward at Porter.
Oh, my God.
And then when I went to go visit him, they brought a gurney up and said he's going up to ICU, and then had about 14 other seizures.
When did he go in?
He went in probably 3 days, or less than 2 days after he bought the car.
How did he get down there? I mean, he could, at that time, he could drive and everything?
He could, but he was very out of it.
In all honesty, Ryan, if I saw him, in all honesty, if I saw him at that time, would I think anything was wrong with him?
Yes, you would, because he had what I call a zombie look, and he went to a friend's house, and they saw him with the zombie look, and they drove him to the hospital.
Brandon Siglian, what do you make of this?
Yeah, look, if there's no meeting of the minds, if he's not competent to enter
Yeah, they haven't done that,
contract,
though.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know if this guy's under some kind of guardianship that would prove that he's not capable.
I don't think he is, Ryan. I mean, he's not under guardianship, is he?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
does someone make his decisions for him?
As of this point, we're thinking somebody should.
Well, right now he's unconscious.
No.
I would hope somebody is, but so he's in the hospital right now in a coma.
Not in a coma. He's just like unconscious to the point that he can't. He's not. The doctors haven't said that he's in a coma. He's just like sleeping unconscious. They haven't said that he's in a coma, but it's almost that way.
Man, I gotta say, if they never. Here's the deal. We're basically asking. Here's the problem. Follow me here. We're asking a dealership, and that sounds like a normal price depending on what model Genesis it was, but $63,000. The guy pays in cash. So now we're asking them. Now, granted,
I don't know if it was cash. We don't know how he paid for it.
Or a check. He didn't finance it, or did he finance it?
No, I don't think he did because he.
But you said he didn't have any money, which brings that back up. Let's do this, Suzanne. Here's the problem. We have okay, someone put him on hold. I can't operate our own phone, so bear with us. We're working through that. But here's the issue. I want to call up Arapahoe and see what their side to this is. I don't think they did anything wrong here. And here's the main problem. We have no paperwork. We have nothing. We don't even know if this guy, paid cash or we know nothing about this. We know absolutely nothing. But let's figure out what they know about it, and then we'll go from there. By the way, Frank Duran, the real estate man, if you're buying or selling a house, I got to tell you right now, if you're selling, it is a hot market. Interest rates are down again. People are buying. They can afford a little more house if they're getting a bigger house. And if you're selling a house, there is no one better. I've used them. Tom's used them. In fact, there's no other realtor I would use in the Denver metro area besides Frank Duran, the real estate man. Buying or selling, call him now, 303-920-1622, 303-920-1622.
I don't know what to make of this guy.
We don't
I
need
feel bad for him.
so you need a doctor's note saying this guy's not competent to make decisions and that he wasn't.
Can you go back in time?
But
you
we're
can
talking
prove-
a
if you can
week
prove
here.
that there
We're
was a
not
meeting
talking
of-
like it's been 6 months or
So,
something.
so what did he? So he went and bought the car
Well,
and he
it's 2
just
weeks
let it
ago.
let sit there.
Well, 2 weeks, he hasn't even taken it off the lot.
So that's what we're
Yeah.
being told.
Yeah.
All right.
So how does he even know that he
I'm
bought
going to
it?
have to have him give me the info, and I'm going to have to make that
Dan, why
call.
don't you call?
Okay.
Do you want to wait till you get everything going
No,
back?
no, right. Now come in there.
Okay,
Give me the
I'll
number.
get all the info for you.
Thank you.
Dentistry and new orthodontics? You bet. 303-690-0400. 303-690-0400. And look for Neo Kids Dentistry and the new orthodontics. My referral list at referralist.com. Dr. Kent Lawson, 303-690-0400.
Hey, Dominic, just so you know, you left a screwdriver in there too, okay?
Yep. Great news. Brett, so many people have a loan, they paid it down, they don't want to start over. You don't have to hit the reset button on your home loan. With our flexible term refinance, whatever you have remaining today, we can let you take advantage of lower interest rates and lower payments while still paying your house off.
Yeah, California.
There is a lot to do in the state. They got everything. They got deserts. They got mountains. They got ocean.
They do, man. It's crazy.
They got sequoias.
They got taxes. They got Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah.
They got.
Did you ever go to Venice Beach?
I don't think so. I've been to
I'll fly LA.
San Diego, San Francisco.
This last trip, or you went staying? No.
Um,
You stayed at Pismo.
Yeah, which is a tiny. Oh, and the boardwalk was closed, or the pier was closed. It's just one thing after another.
So why not make money with those skills?
Hey, Mark,
Mow a yard, clean a house.
Yes, sir.
can you see that popping through there?
Oh yeah.
Can you grab that?
Yep.
Thank you. Just pull it through. That's good, thank you.
Sure. You want it plugged in?
Yes.
Jobs and chores with customers who need them
Go to
done.
the back of the phone.
Denver launch that starts June 6th. For a limited time, it's free to sign up to be a tackle provider.
Is it plugged in?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Complete the 6 easy steps to join the first class of tackle providers in this area. As a tackle provider,
Denver Spine should not be called Denver Spine.
I know they always call it that.
I don't know why.
Always.
don't wait.
It looks like it's going to work. It's not doing that weird flashing. All right. Oh, thank God. What else could it have been?
There you go.
What else could it have been?
The hybrid downstairs,
Which would have been the real nightmare?
which would have been
Is
very
that just for
expensive.
here, though, or isn't that for everybody in the building?
Oh, no, each station has their own.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, good.
You're the magic man.
All right. Some of these copies come from Denver.
Feel the difference. When I walk on my car protector, Zero Res, they feel new, and I never have to worry about dangerous toxins. Right now, Zero Res is offering 3 rooms, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized for just $100.
Who are those ones we were going to have on? The smoker.
Call now and get free.
Can't wait to hear that one.
Is that a assisted or a senior citizen living area? Assisted living?
Who?
That smoker case.
That I couldn't tell you. Did you look at the lease?
I didn't know there's a lease, but the declaration, some of them were sent over. That's what I'm looking at right now, and the smoking policy.
I've heard of the opposite, where they can make you not smoke, right?
So what you said? No, what do you mean the opposite? This is one. This is.
No, I've where the HOA says you can't smoke. But in that HOA, it doesn't say that, right?
They've got a nuisance provision, and then they've got this policy that they enacted that looks to, it says no smoking, but looks to refer to any kind of new lease or conveyance that they have, that the new buyer can't.
Okay. And we're getting the smoker on too, right? Yeah.
There you go. Should be good.
Thanks, Dominic.
Let me know if there's any issues.
only place for Sean Kennedy and Glenn Beck. Pittsburgh's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Just rubbing it in, aren't you? Just rubbing it in. I don't know. With the high taxes, the old governor checking for fruit as you cross the border.
But
I'm
it's
not there.
gorgeous, Mark. It's gorgeous.
Deputy Dan's reaching out to that dealership, Arapahoe Hyundai, see what they know about this. So let's keep Ryan on just for a little bit. I have a feeling we're going to have to go back to him. Now this one's a curious case. In fact, let's just jump right to it now that I got these phones working. By the way, one line open, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Remember, that number works on and off the air. Marilyn, how are you doing?
Fine.
Now, this is very interesting. I heard Suzanne and Daphne talking to you this morning about this. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on?
Okay. I have a smoker. She's a chain smoker. I live in a condo I own. She owns.
Yeah.
She's next door to me, and her cigarette smoke comes through the wall. Also, when she opens her window up, and I have my window open, it comes right in my bedroom. And when she turns her air on, it's even worse. And I cannot turn my air on because it gets really bad. I have been through, I don't know how many HOA meetings.
Well, smoking is allowed, correct, in the building or in her own unit?
It's allowed in her. What happened was they made it a non-smoking community. However, they grandfathered the smokers in.
How long has she been there?
About 5 years, 6 years.
And you've been there the same amount of time?
I have been there 11 years.
Brandon, you looked at, what did you look at? I know we handed you some paperwork before the show. Is that the lease? Well, it's not a lease. They own their own unit. Is it the bylaws? What is it?
Right. So there's generally the declarations of covenants and restrictions that does have some nuisance language in there. And, you know, then there's also a policy that was enacted in 2015, which is what the caller's talking about, which I had a hard time understanding exactly, but that was my impression too, is that it looks like it's a grandfathering and it's dealing with
owners,
new owners, that anytime it's been the property sold or leased or conveyed in any way, that the new owner accepts the restriction on smoking.
So, Jan, or Marilyn, I'm sorry, her name's Jan. We're going to bring her up in a minute. But, Marilyn, what would you, so you're reaching out for us to ask her simply to quit smoking? You know that's not going to happen.
I know, because she's already been asked. She even went to an HOA meeting, which we were there, and she got up and said she smokes 12 to 15 cigarettes a day.
No, I mean, a lot of people that smoke, smoke a lot. I mean, it's a very addictive habit. I mean, I'm not sure what anybody could do here. I mean, is there anything outside of the norm you can think of, Brandon, that some kind of nuisance law or something? There's been a lot of cases, and I think, I want to say Boulder has taken care of some of them, but when marijuana first became legal, you know, there's certain areas of Denver, my God, it smells so much like pot, it's unbelievable. I was in a building in Denver, and my neighbors were growing marijuana, legally, of course, and I got to tell you, when it pollinated, it was a horrible smell. I called the city on it. There was nothing anybody could do, period, end of story. I would assume it's very similar.
It is. It's tough to enforce nuisance on general smells because you can imagine smells from cooking. I don't like the way, curry smells.
Yeah, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But curry doesn't kill you. I got to ask you this. Now, Jan, how are you? I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, Jan, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Let me point out.
Yes.
We have through-the-wall air conditioners in these condominiums, and they don't pull any air from the outside in. They recirculate the air inside the apartment.
Well, Marilyn's saying when she turns her air on, she smells your cigarettes.
That's right. I have every electrical outlet and light switch outlet covered in duct tape. My door is double sealed. Maintenance came over and put the rubberized blocking across it. I have a double seal on the bottom. Maintenance has foamed every opening underneath my sink in the kitchen and the bathroom. And I want to share with you something, Tom. In 2013, I quit smoking for about 7 months. I was on the nicotine patch. During that time, Marilyn sent maintenance over to foam my outlets, which were already covered with duct tape. And I told her, I said, I'm on the patch, I'm not smoking, and she shouted at me that I'm a liar. So I am her goal in life to harass, and that's fine. If she's harassing me, she's harassing nobody else.
You know what? You're probably right to a degree, Marilyn. But I'm sorry, Jan. But I would say it's definitely bothering her. I don't know what she can do. I mean, it sounds like, and you're going to hate this, Marilyn, but it sounds like Jan, if she truly did duct tape all the way down to the light sockets, it sounds like she's really trying to be a good neighbor. The fact that she smokes, man, you should have moved into a place where they don't allow it.
No, I want to point something else out, Tom. We are in a building that has an intake on the top, and there's positive airflow down the hallway.
Well, yeah, but hold on, Marilyn. You don't think she's making it up, do you, that she smells it?
No, this is Jan. I don't know, but let me point out, there is wood smoke smell in our halls and outside, okay? Yeah. We get that in the hallway. Only thing I can think of is she's thinking it's cigarette smoke. But and we just had it last Friday, and I don't know if it's the Aurora incinerator or someone's burning trash. You can smell it in the hallways.
What do you got to say, Marilyn?
Okay, what I have to say is I was in here for 11 years. When she moved in, that's when it started. My husband, who was a very sick man and who was on oxygen, which we had a thing out in the hallway saying there was oxygen, and we had, a lot of times we had to sleep in the chair. He had to sleep in his chair in the family room.
Yeah. What does this have to do with this, though?
Well, because the cigarette smoke was so bad in our bedroom. She says that she'd stopped smoking for 7 months, okay? That her unit is so infested with her cigarette smoke.
No.
All she has to do is open her door up, and the whole hallway gets infested.
You're wrong.
But she's not breaking.
There's airflow down the hallway, and the air blows in. You open your front door, the air blows in. You're at the end of the hallway.
So I had the HOA people come in, them that were on the board.
I'd like to see. Where is this place? Hold on, both of you.
It's
Where is
Heather
this?
Gardens. We've had calls on them
Where
before.
Where is it?
I don't. Lakewood?
Is it Denver? Where is this?
Aurora.
So
Aurora.
If someone came down there, I see, but none of it even matters because she's allowed to smoke there.
Well, I will give Marilyn credit to the fact that she has got me to quit, to lower down the smoking. I'm not.
Okay.
How many packs a day do you have right now, Jan?
Me?
Yeah.
A pack lasts me about a day and a half, 2 days.
Okay.
Don't I have some rights? Cigarette smoke is so dangerous.
I understand. Secondhand smoke as well.
That's right.
But there's no laws about it.
And so that's why I was telling you, I had the HOA come in here.
Yeah.
They could smell it in my mattress. They could smell it in my carpet.
Well,
I went and got a new mattress.
I understand, Marilyn, but I'm not sure what can be done about it. Brandon, think outside the box. I can't think of anything here.
You know, there is a nuisance provision in the covenants and restrictions, section 8.10.
What's it say?
It says that no unreasonably noxious or offensive activity is permitted within the community. No use, activity, or practice is permitted which unreasonably annoys, embarrasses, offends, or disturbs any other unit owner, or which may unreasonably interfere with the peaceful enjoyment of his property.
I've been harassed for 5 years now. She didn't start this until I'd been here a year.
Yeah.
And then somebody asked me if I smoked, and I didn't lie. I said, yeah, and then bam.
Okay, you know what else she does?
What?
She brings in her smoking buddy. Oh, yes, you do. I have witnesses.
What does that mean? What does that mean? She brings in her, like she's running a smoke shop?
No, Tom, listen. I host football games. 5 of us.
So they come over. Wait, both of you can't talk at the same time. Go ahead and finish, Marilyn. She brings people over to smoke?
Yes, she does. No. She has a friend that comes because she's not allowed to smoke in her unit because she is a rental. And some people that are rentals will come in her unit to get a cigarette smoke. They even admitted it, and I have witnesses that would testify to it.
This is,
yeah, Jan.
Okay,
and you know it,
one person. Now, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's my turn. I host birthday get-togethers. I host football during the football season get-together. I have anywhere from 5 to 6 people in here. only one other person smokes.
Oh,
He's
no.
not a heavy
Oh, no,
smoker.
Jan.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
no.
Okay,
No, I
hold
have
on.
witnesses.
We want to really try to figure something out here, so everybody hold tight. We'll be right back after these messages.
Donahue.
This Heritage Hills case, that was what you were talking about, well, that's actually is Golden, it's Jefferson County. So I pulled up that district court case where they talk about it.
Cigarettes or what?
Cigarettes. In that case,
And
they
what
actually they had a nuisance provision, and they actually passed one that said you specifically can't smoke in the units. The smoker actually brought the case. The judge sided with the HOA, saying they can.
Yeah, but the HOA would have to agree in this circumstance, right?
Right. So the difference between this case and that case was, in this Jefferson County case, the provision actually applied to the current homeowners. This one applies to any future homeowners, right?
Yeah.
So it passed as to any, but this lady's grandfathered in because she's been there 5 years. So
Well, here's the other thing. If she's been there, how could they not grandfather her, right?
Well, it's assuming you follow the voting, because you can vote yourself. You can vote as long as you have the right voting requirements. You can vote whatever restrictions apply to yourself.
So you're saying when they voted, they decided they had enough votes to change it so new owners could not smoke, but maybe not enough votes to change it to where no one can smoke?
Right. I don't know. I can't figure out. There's some minutes there that are talking about the smoking committee, but I can't tell yet.
The smoking committee.
What it was in 2014, what exactly the reason they started the process. But I'm assuming there was a lobbyist contingency of smokers that said, you know, it's going to be for the future owners, not us. You know, we have been here 10 years or whatever.
Hey, Mark. Did Dan give you the update on Ryan?
Not yet. So,
yeah, this is good.
I talked to Brian, the salesman, and
Hyundai.
as far as he knows, the deal is basically canceled because he didn't put anything down on it, and the car's back on the lot. Ryan needs to go back there, explain the situation to him, because the salesman was actually concerned about his dad, because he had heard that there was issues.
So he didn't put any money down. He didn't buy the car.
Right. But
he signed stuff.
Right.
But nothing happened after that.
Correct.
So they're willing to charge him nothing.
Right. That's what he said.
So he did buy it.
Right. And he said it was kind of a weird deal and stuff, and you know, because he.
So they're standing up.
Right. That's what he had said. But Ryan needs to go down there and explain the situation to him. Apparently, Ryan never even called him and talked to him. He just
Never even called him?
Yeah.
That's weird.
He said the only thing he's heard about it, I can't remember where he heard
They've
it.
been probably trying to get in touch with the guy, and they can't.
Right. So I know Ryan doesn't have a license, but he needs to get an Uber or something, get down there and go over this stuff with him.
Installed with a 10-year warranty.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Take it from me. PriceFixer.com.
Do you think you pay too much to sell a house? Hi, this is John.
So you can ask Jan if she's hideous with all that smoking in there. Remember that was Luke Kramer? Jerry goes, oh, I'm hideous. You look at your teeth. Your face looks like a catcher's mitt.
Hey, George Burns lived to be 100.
But he only smokes cigars now and then.
No, I don't think that's true.
Really?
I think there were 106 persons affected in 24 multi-story unit buildings. So it sounds like there were a lot of complaints from there's a lot of smokers there.
In that building?
In these 24 buildings. And I'm kind of wondering, too, if any of them are designated smoking buildings. Is this assisted living facility or just a senior?
I think it's a 55 and over community.
Right, but not assisted living.
You want to go out onto assignment and smell this lady's house? No. She'll bum you a smoke, I'm sure. I thought I've seen you smoking, no? Oh. She has people over to smoke.
Just like that Seinfeld episode.
This is like 20 people in there just hotboxing away.
You remember that episode, right?
What's that?
On Kramer did that exact same thing.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that when
That's when
he sued the tobacco company
And
with
he got his
Jackie?
nickname on the
Oh yeah,
billboard.
he sued the tobacco.
He looks up.
company,
With Johnny Cocker.
Right. Yeah, that was that guy.
Well, I'm not sure how long
Jan will actually be with us, and I hate to put it that way. But there's nothing we're going to do here. I mean, my goodness, I was really reaching over the break. Brandon, you know, unless they change and everybody there votes to make it non-smoking. Now, you found out there's 24 buildings there, right?
Right.
And out of these 24 buildings, we don't know. Let me ask these two here. Actually, let me go to Jan. Jan, hey, out of the 24 buildings, some people smoke, some people don't. It's all with ownership, or some buildings are smoking, some are not?
Ownership, if you've been here X amount of years.
Simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's not doing anything wrong. I feel bad for your neighbor there, and it sounds like you really have tried to stop the
I don't even
smoke.
smoke in the bedroom, and our bedrooms, you know, are on opposite sides of the wall, but the drywall is 3/4 inch thick, and the electrical outlets are covered, and we get wood smoke in the halls.
How old are you, Jan?
Do I have to tell you?
Well, you don't have to tell me anything. I'm just 75. How long have you been smoking?
I started in college. I never smoked in high school because I was athletic.
Wow.
In the,
So you smoked a long time.
Yeah, well, no, off and on. I've quit
Yeah.
through the years. I have an adverse reaction to the nicotine patch now at my age.
Marilyn, I'm not sure what to say. I mean, there's really no legal stance here that I can think of, nor
But
Brandon.
maybe we can just plead with Jan that,
Go ahead.
you know, it's a
Why,
little
during
harmful.
The summer of 2013,
yes.
Did you think I was smoking? For 7 months I didn't. And if you still got smoke, it's coming from someplace else, not me. I quit.
No. It's because your unit is so infested with
doesn't
cigarette
stay, it
smoke.
dissipates.
Listen to me.
I wonder if we could solve this with a mud wrestling kind of championship or something.
Can I say something?
Yes.
The gentleman across the hall moved in. He's a renter. The hall, I can say right now, she's right, I don't smell the cigarette smoke because she has put the weather stripping under her door.
Okay.
But before they did that, he got cigarette smoke. He came knocking on my door, and his wife has asthma. She had an asthma attack from the cigarette smoke.
It wasn't the cigarette smoke, it's the wood smoke.
But why would these
It's
people
not
move in there if it
smoke.
smells as
Sealed
bad?
For 4 years.
Oh, she's full of crap.
And your door has been sealed also.
You damn right it has, and they
Yeah.
try to take it away.
Hey, Jan, couldn't you just smoke outside with your friends while it's nice? I mean, that would be kind.
Well, they're complaining that they're saying the other night, Friday night, it was so strong, the wood smoke, you had to close up and put your air conditioner on. And smoke goes up. It does not go lateral. Smoke dissipates. It does not stay in the air. The nicotine smell will cling to a wall or something, but the smoke dissipates.
You know what? All you have to do is come to Heather Gardens in our building. There will be people. Yes, there is wood smoke, but it's nothing
Does she really,
like the
Marilyn, does
cigarette
she really sneak in a bunch of people to smoke that are just renters?
Yes.
How many are we talking?
I have 5 people. Because
For
they even
football, one
admitted
person
it, Jan. They admitted it to other people. They came up and told me that they admitted it. They need a cigarette smoke, so they're coming to your unit to smoke.
There's one other person who smokes that comes to my place.
Jan, what can we do? How about if I offered you $500 if you quit? Would you take that?
No, 80,000 I might.
80,000. Hey, the woman's got a number at least.
Hey.
You know, here's the very good news and the bad news, and any other way you want to put it. I'm going to free those lines up. Us going out there is going to do nothing. I probably would go out there and it would smell horrible. The only good news, and I'll say this, and I mean this tongue-in-cheek in a way, but, you know, Marilyn, she smoked since she was in college. She's 75. Not so sure how long she's going to be smoking, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm 79.
And you don't smoke. Well, you almost smoke.
With her cigarette smoke,
You get the free smoking. There's not much we can do. Now, Brandon, you were saying she might be able to go to the HOA and try to change the rules. Have you done that?
I have asked them. I was told by one of the...
Yeah, but hold on. What does it say in the bylaws if she wants to change this? How does she go about that?
I have to go to a board meeting. I have to get the people on the board meeting
Yep.
to change it. But I was also told that the president of the HOA has the right to change it any time.
Wow. And does he smoke? Is he a smoker? Or she?
He?
He?
I don't know, and he won't do it.
Why? Have you talked to him personally?
Yes, he
And
said that in order for him to do it,
Yeah.
I have to file a lawsuit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. He's just putting you off is what he's saying, if he truly has that power. You know, I'm not even sure what to say on this. If any listeners have ideas here, Brandon, anything at all, man?
You know, other than going after, you know, the nuisance
law,
the nuisance covenant that's in there,
which is a stretch.
Isn't it a health hazard?
Well, yeah, but it's, my God, it's a tobacco industry. It's like going after, they're like nobody else. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They're very powerful, and people get addicted to these things. I feel bad for Jan, too. She's addicted to these. She's most likely going to die from lung cancer or something to do with smoking, a heart attack or something. It's a very addictive drug. Asking someone, it's like asking, someone once told me it's harder to stop smoking than get off heroin. I don't know if that's true or not, but I smoked for years, and it was very tough. It was very tough to quit smoking. And just to say, hey, quit, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. 303-713-8255. So we've got an update on Arapahoe, right? Is this correct, Suzanne? Arapahoe Hyundai. Apparently, Ryan called this guy. Hey, Ryan, we talked to him over there. I'm going to give the update after the break, but we've got some news for you, so I want you to hold till after the break, all right?
Okay.
So you hold tight there. Kenny, it says you've got a limited time. What's going on?
Mark,
yes.
I was a smoker. I thought World War III was going to be declared right there. Anyways, my situation is with Mountain Chevrolet in Glenwood, Colorado.
I have not heard of, well, I haven't heard of them, which could be good, bad, or indifferent. What happened?
If you're going west on I-70, right after the hot springs.
Yes, so what happened?
Okay, I got a 2004 Chevy Silverado. I called them on the 13th to make appointments.
Are they a new Chevy dealer? I'm sorry, are they a new Chevy dealer, Kenny?
I don't know that, Mark. I'm up here working at Jefferson County Airport, Eagle County Airport.
No. I'm saying Mountain View. Do they purely, are they just a new dealership? What do they sell? Everything what?
Oh, they sell Chevy. I didn't know they were there. I went there to have work done on my Chevy pickup. That's
I got
all
you.
I know.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. Intake manifold gasket went bad on my Chevy. I made an appointment at 9 a.m. on Monday, on the 13th, on Tuesday, to have the unit fixed. On Saturday, this last Saturday, what was that, the 17th?
Whatever it was, keep going.
Okay, all right. I call the lady, her name is Erica. I call her 3 times that week to confirm I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Under time restraints, I'm working 80-hour weeks.
So, okay, so you've got an appointment. They confirm it.
Yes. I dropped the vehicle off at 5 a.m. in the morning, get a ride to work. Barn door opens at 9 o'clock. She calls me at...
Okay, hold on. Kenny, I promise I'll bring you right up after the break. We'll get through this. Let's get their phone number, too. Deputy Dan, it sounds like we're going to be making a call over there. Listen, I've got an update on Arapahoe Hyundai when we come back, and we're going to talk a little more about Ryan Naples in Stone Falls Landscaping and Fences. Everybody hang tight. We've got a lot going on. One line open, 303 Martino.
Oh, my God.
Your daughter, she needs to turn some stuff in ASAP, and I don't know the password to the computer. It's your Microsoft.
Let's see. Good. That's a capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean to log in, right?
Yeah.
These are all small.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that. These two might be.
Okay.
They might be inverted.
Okay.
He never said what the issue was, right, on the Silverado? He just said,
No. Do we know anything about it?
no, I can't even find one. Does Mountain Chevrolet?
I don't know. That's why I was asking him. I've never heard of it. I thought he said Mountain View. Do you know what
That's
he said?
there's one in California, Mountain View Chevrolet in California, but
You think they got a view of the mountains?
There's mountains in California.
I don't know. I feel bad for that lady because I got to tell you.
Smoking?
Yeah, when they were picking those dope plants next to me, man, it was the worst freaking smell in the world. It was so strong. It was way worse than just the smell of burning pot. And that pollen would just stick in the air vents. So even afterwards, it would still smell. And then as the smell's dying down, and the worst part is people would come in, and, you know, we're an automotive shop. They think we're smoking dope in there or some shit. So I called Denver out, and at the time, Denver had 0 ordinances. The only one that did, the guy told me, was Boulder. And Boulder, they had to put in certain units on. I think in Denver now they have to do all this, but they had to put in certain units and air exchange systems.
Do you believe some people like that smell?
Not the pollen, no.
No, yes, they do.
The pollen?
Yes, they like that.
You mean they like getting high?
No,
the pollen
they
doesn't
just
get you
like
high.
the smell when they go in there. They just like the smell.
God,
I talked to
no.
2 people who actually like it.
Suzanne quit smoking like shit 17, 18 years ago. She still likes the smell of cigarettes. I hate it.
Oh, I really hate it. And most ex-smokers do hate it.
It drives me crazy. Some of the casinos out there, man, are freaking, they still smoke in them.
In Vegas?
In Vegas, I couldn't believe it. Where we stayed, they did. I was like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, we stayed at the Bellagio, and like
They smoke?
high-end. I mean, I think the rooms you can't smoke, but the casino you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's like, you know, it's everywhere in the casino. It's not like it's not like it doesn't go into your room, but
There's some that are non-smoking, but Luxor wasn't. I don't think any of the MGM properties are.
yeah, after that seminar, that business seminar we did in Castle Rock, I went to a gas station to get some gas, and there was a...
In Castle Rock?
Yeah, and there was a... or wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. There was in Colorado Springs, that's what it was, for a deposition. Went and stopped and got some gas, and I was like, they had the marijuana thing. I'm like, they're growing marijuana in the back?
In the gas station?
Yeah, and then I come out of the gas station, and I can see it's a strip mall, and literally like 50 yards away is the marijuana store, and that's how far it was. It came all the way over the entire parking lot. So past, in between was a laundromat, and
I think it's nasty.
It's just insane.
I don't like the smell of it. I hated it. There's not a damn thing we could do either. Cigarettes, I think, smell worse, though.
Oh, yeah. I think
Cigarettes smell like death to me. Did you ever smoke, Brandon?
I still do once in a while, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like what?
That's why I don't
like a cigar? Or
like a drinker kind of smoking only?
I'm just like casual when I'm drinking, if I've got a lot of stress going on.
Well, you generally don't carry a pack?
No.
Did you ever,
If I'm
Dan?
driving sometimes, I like to. But,
You never did? Not even in the Army?
No.
Or Marines?
No, when I grew up, Dad would smoke, and it would be 30 below out, and you couldn't even open the window to get it out. It'd just be a cloud in there.
So you
I
did
can't believe
smoke?
people that
Oh, yeah.
smoke inside their houses and stuff like that.
It was terrible.
It's just like,
It was terrible.
I did Frank Duran, right?
Yes.
That's the only one I've done. I am so far behind. I don't know what to tell that poor lady. I feel bad for her.
Smoker? Or?
No, not the smoker, the non-smoker. Now, wouldn't that suck, though? But here's the problem. That woman is so upset about it. Even if she quit smoking, she'd still smell it. You know what I'm saying?
I've gotten tenants out of leases where the neighbors were smoking, senior citizens and stuff like that.
Out of leases, but she owns it.
Yeah, then this is a little tighter situation.
And who are you going to sell it to? The only one you're going to sell it to is a damn smoker. If it's as bad as
If
she's
it's bad as
describing.
it says it is. We had one guy come in and say he was being charged for smoking, and And he was, I can't believe it. You know, they could have gotten rid of the smoke. You know, it's charged them like $2,000 to cover up the smoke. They moved him into a different unit. And like, it was him and his wife had chain smoked inside the house for like 10 years, or inside the apartment. I believe it does probably, yeah. I believe it probably does smell like smoke. You just don't. You don't believe it because you don't smell it. I mean, because you're so used to it.
We would get cars that would come into Goodyear that smelled like stale smoke.
Yeah.
It was the worst smelling cigarette part, like really old.
Right.
We had one come in one time. My guy came up front. The lady, or the guy was in a wheelchair, but the car was just, it was horrible. But my guy comes up, John goes, I just can't pull this in, Mark. It's so rank. And I'm thinking, oh, man. I go out there, and the guy had, like, dirty diapers and shit in there.
Oh.
But it was worse than that. There was a fucking cat living in the back of it.
Oh,
in the litter box. It was absolutely disgusting.
Used in the back as a litter box?
Now, cat piss is worse
That's
than anything.
terrible. Yeah.
The odor in that car, though, was like, and all I can think of is this guy doesn't even smell it anymore.
Right.
It's just him, you know?
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show, the only show of this kind. We solve problems, we answer questions, we take complaints. We had a caller last hour, lives next to a smoker. We were even thinking of different things over the break. Brandon Siglian with me, attorney at law, and there's just nothing, so be careful when you buy a unit. If you're a smoker or a non-smoker, whatever, be careful, you know what you're getting into. It's kind of weird, though, when you buy something like in a condominium, unlike a house, is there anything you know of, Brandon, where they can say it's illegal, a municipality could say it's illegal to smoke? I know they can say, for example, with marijuana, I mean, I believe this is correct, you're not supposed to smoke it outside. Or at least, unless if you're covered by a fence or something. I don't even know what the laws are. I know they can do that, so you might not be able to smoke it in your backyard. But is there anything they could do outside of a condominium or townhome to make it illegal? I mean, does a municipality have that kind of... This is just a question to decide. Have you ever heard of anything like that? I haven't.
Sure. Well, you can always have nuisance laws, and you can try to define them to be as specific as possible, because generally they're so broad, they become tough to enforce. You know, there are some public policies.
Yeah, but if someone doesn't like garlic, you brought this up last hour. Forget about the cigarette smoke. The carcinogen is weird because it can kill you. I mean, that's the problem with cigarettes. Everybody knows they can kill you. But you might hate the smell of garlic, and your neighbor's always cooking spaghetti sauce or something,
right,
which could be a big-time nuisance for that person. So when you talk about a nuisance law, how do you determine what a nuisance is?
Right. It can be very subjective. Smoking is one of those things that a lot of it's going to be in, you know, what does the judge or the jury think rises to that level, and is it extreme enough? And then you've got also what would be an affirmative defense of coming to the nuisance. So, for example, if you move next to a pig farm, you're going to smell pig farm,
or near an airport,
you're going to come to the nuisance. So, you know, those kind of affirmative defenses. If you want to live in a clean air community, a lot of times it's getting everybody to vote, agree with you, and, you know, it's going to be tough if you've got smokers.
Oh, it sounds like they do in there. And it's kind of weird, too, thinking, you know, once again, this is a highly addictive issue. And someone goes and buys a condominium, and they've smoked their whole life, or 50 years, whatever it is, and all of a sudden they're told they can't smoke. That brings up a whole nother issue.
Right.
I mean, what happens? I mean, smokers have rights, too. Whether or not you want to believe it or not, they do. And I don't know. Chris says he has a solution. What is it, Chris?
Well, the same exact thing happened with my grandmother and her neighbor.
Was your grandmother the smoker or the non-smoker?
She was the smoker.
Okay.
So she did quit. And what I ended up doing, what she ended up doing before she quit is she got a smoke filter. It's sort of like a...
It's like a carbon filter of some sort.
Yeah, and it blows air and filters the air.
Yeah.
That's what she did. But after she quit, I went in there and I could still smell everything. The walls were yellow, the windows were yellow.
How'd you get rid of it?
The carpet. So all I did was I started from the bottom up, or from the top down, I mean.
Yeah.
And had all of the windows cleaned, all of the blinds cleaned. We had the entire
Carpet.
Carpet cleaned. We had the entire apartment painted on the inside.
Did it work?
And it worked.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So basically,
But she's got to quit first.
Yeah, it's not the smoke though. If she's not smoking, if she's been smoking for let's say 5-6 years in that apartment,
It's
the
still
tar. It's the tar that grabs onto the walls, onto the carpet, onto the blinds,
On everything. Yeah, I appreciate that. He's right, but the first part of that is, the woman would have to quit smoking. Years ago, in one of my good years, this story's a little disgusting, but bear with me. One of my techs comes up to me and goes, I can't pull this guy's car in. And I already checked the guy in at the front. He was 400 plus. He was a big guy, and he was in a wheelchair. And he definitely had an odor about him, but, life goes on. The guy needing an oil change. And I said, why? So, I kind of already knew the circumstance because I'm staring at the guy. I go out there, and I guess the guy lived in his car because there was, dirty diapers. And then on top of that, all of a sudden I hear something in the back. The guy has a cat living in the back. There's fast food wrappers everywhere, and there's a litter box in the back, and you just couldn't even handle it. I would say till this day, I can still smell that awful smell. It was absolutely disgusting. It was one of the few people, I did. I couldn't expect any employee to drive that in if I couldn't do it myself. I was going to go out there and drive it in, but I said no, and I told the guy I felt horrible, but holy moly.
So no oil change?
No oil change with me. I was like, hey, go ahead, grease monkey guy. I felt bad because he was handicapped too, but man, all right, 3 hours probably a little, what do they say, 2 TMI or something like that. Come on, Dan, you're up on all these sayings.
That'll work.
That'll work?
Too much information.
Too much information. That smoker was funny, though, because on Seinfeld that one time, if you ever listen to us on Break It Facebook, we talk too much about Seinfeld. Tom's actually pretty damn good at it. He had us on one that took me forever to get. Yeah. I had to look it up. I cheated, but I finally figured it out. You too.
Yeah, but like I say, it was definitely a unique aspect that he caught.
Yeah, and the smoker one, though, that's what happened, is he went into the apartment, he'd have all these people over smoking, and, that's how that went. The one I am going to say real quick, though, if anybody can guess this, we'll have him in not only as a common man, we'll buy him lunch, okay? Here's how good this one is. Ready? It's going to be the Tom one. So this is what Tom asked Dan, and I promise I'll get right back to the phones. But Jerry makes a motion. When you think someone might be gay, you shake your hand like this. Yeah, you know what I mean? At least that's what you used to do. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, but anyhow. So you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You think I'm getting that across? I hope you listening understand. Jerry did a different one. He said, well, why would they do this? They should do this. And then he made a gesture with their hand. So if you can figure that out, we'll buy you lunch. 303-713-8255. Now, I want to go to an update. Ryan, you called us up, said your father has a lot of issues. In fact, right now he's in a hospital. I think you told me not only in the ER, but he's in ICU, right?
Yes, he is.
He went to Arapahoe Hyundai, and he purchased a $63,000 Genesis and has not left with it. It's still sitting down there. You're not sure how he paid for it, and you're not sure what to do. Is that basically the call, right?
Yes, that is.
Well, it's very interesting. We called over there, and basically he didn't pay anything down, not a nickel. So basically he did sign it. They're going to let him out of it. But they told us you didn't even call down there.
Oh, I did. I talked to a guy named Brian in
That's who Dan
That's who I talked to.
Now, wait a minute. Brian said he never talked to him?
Right.
Okay, wait a minute. That means someone's lying. So, Ryan, are you lying and you talked to Brian, or is he lying?
No, I called them on, let's see, he bought the car on Saturday the 3rd.
Yep, of this
I
month.
must have called them on the 5th.
Okay, and you talked to Brian, and what did he say?
Brian, and he said that they couldn't take it back because he had already signed the paperwork and it was a done deal.
See, and I don't even want to address that because the bottom line is, Dan, what did they say when you called over? You talked to Brian.
Right, I talked to Brian, and he said he was really worried about the customer, and he didn't put anything down. He just signed the papers, and then he said that car was actually out on the lot for sale again.
Okay, so they're
That's
saying
so bizarre.
all he's got to do is go down there, they're going to undo it.
Right, Ryan, you got to go down there, talk to them, let them know what happened, and make sure everything is done.
Ryan, when can you get down there?
I can get down there on Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, listen, call up, make an appointment to go down and talk to Brian. You come up with an appointment time. Listen to me. If you do it either Wednesday or Thursday, say 3 o'clock, I'll meet you there. It's got to be at 3 o'clock, though. 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll meet you there just in case there's any issues. It doesn't sound like there's going to be any problems, but I'll be happy to sit down.
Let me just make sure I don't have anything going on that day really quick.
Well,
Either
you
one
can
of
do
those
that on
days.
your own
Check your
time. My
calendar.
God, man. Check your calendar. Holy crap. You know what? I'm going to take back my invitation. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. The more I think about it, he's got to check his calendar. I say 2 days.
That's funny.
Funny? What is
Give
this?
the guy a
What am I,
break.
chopped
People
liver?
are busy, Mark. People are busy.
Yeah, but he's calling us for help. I'm like,
Well,
I'm going to meet
he's
you there.
still got
I'm going to meet
a
him there.
life.
Oh, my God. Deputy Dan, I'm turning this one over to you.
No, you're saving the guy $65,000. Plus, you said you were going to buy him some lunch.
No, I didn't. I didn't say no. I'll trade him a lunch that Tom owes me.
Oh, okay.
Martino owes me more lunches than anything in the world. He always says, I didn't bet lunch. But you know and I know that he bet lunch. That's just the way it goes. Now, Kenny, I'm getting back to you. One line open, 303-713-8255. You can free him up. I am happy to help him if I have to. If they're not going to do anything. Deputy Dan, it sounds like Arapahoe Hyundai's got this handled, though, right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Arapahoe Hyundai. It sounds like just an issue, miscommunications with the old guy. Let me take a quick break, but I want to tell you about Wink and Wink. They're bankruptcy attorneys. Here's what I love about them. Mike and Gigi Wink. Of course, they're a married couple. I say you get a twofer if you ever go to them, and I hope you never need to go to them. But the other thing they can talk about is whether or not you should be filing bankruptcy. If you're just thinking about it, if you're sick of paying these credit cards every single month, you want to talk debt consolidation, you want to talk different options you have, you know, in a Chapter 13, most likely you can keep your house. If you have a second mortgage, sometimes you can get rid of that second mortgage altogether. But any questions you have about bankruptcy, debt consolidation, call Mike and Gigi Wink. They're great people. They give you their own cell numbers. You can get a hold of them anytime. 303-410-1720, 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com.
Okay, so I can do wink. Can you believe that guy? Let me check my calendar. People are, what do they think? We got a whole big operation here? I can let me get someone right over there.
It's a big deal.
Can we pick you up and buy you lunch on the way?
I was hoping. $63,000. I know.
I bought a few cars from them.
Oh, so I bought my car from them.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
See, the main sales manager moved from there and went to Shortline Hyundai, and I ended up following him. He just crushed every deal, man. Crushed them.
No, I bought one from them, one from McDonald Hyundai.
I bought one from McDonald. I bought a Santa Fe and a Elantra, and then I bought a Santa Fe and a Tucson from Arapahoe, and then I bought a Genesis, an Accent, and a hybrid. What's the hybrid they made?
You got a hybrid from them?
Yep, the Sonata hybrid.
Who's driving that one?
That's the one we got T-boned in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it got totaled.
Gotcha.
Shit, I bought 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new Hyundai that I can think of right now.
Did you like the hybrid?
I did, man. I get about 500 miles to the tank, had a shitload of torque. It wasn't the best. I mean, I figured I'd get around 40, but I only got about 35, 36.
But that had batteries in it, right? And then when you braked, it would charge the batteries and stuff?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Oh,
But, I mean, the engine would kick on all the time. Once you got above, like, 20, 25, I mean, the engine's going. It had a lot of torque off the line.
That's because of the battery electric. Yeah.
But it didn't get the mileage I thought it would have. I will say that. Nor did it get the mileage the sticker said.
Doesn't it get as good in town as you do freeway too? I mean, there's basically no difference.
I don't drive a lot in town. I mean, mine's always been so much highway.
So you can take Ryan, Naples there? Is it?
Stupid Naples. Naples is the one that did that landscape.
Right, right.
Naples? Is it Naples or
Nipples.
Nipples.
We say nipples.
That's right. So vinegar and baking soda, those are two options for getting rid of smoke smell, it said on the internet.
What? Vinegar and what?
Baking soda?
Baking soda is putting out boxes of baking soda, but also you can use vinegar and wipe the walls. And,
Baking soda can get rid of all kinds of shit.
No, but if it's burnt in there, and I mean that smoke, I mean.
Oh, the pad and carpet, you'd have to replace it.
Well, I've heard on walls they wipe the walls down and it's just streaky with the yellow.
What would you do when you'd spill your bong water on your carpet?
Send the cat over. Hey, cat piss here to take care of that smell. No, that's
and activated charcoal.
Well, I think you repaint it. You got to do like a Kills too.
Right.
You know, it's not can't just be.
I've heard even Kills doesn't even, but that's about the best you can.
Kills pretty much everything. Oh yeah, but I see what you mean, the odor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The odor.
Well, drywall. The problem with pollen in drywall is it'll saturate.
Yeah. Oh, smoke is just terrible. It's...
Why people still smoke is amazing, and they get punished every time they do it with $10 a pack. You know, you think about it, it's $300-400 a month habit now for a smoker.
Yeah.
And what else right on the side says, this will kill you?
None of that.
In Europe, they're even worse. They'll have pictures, I think.
Yeah, but they smoke more in Europe, though, than here, don't they?
Well, they have pictures of people's lungs or something.
Yeah, like just these crazy pictures.
Right. I think they were trying that in the U.S., too.
Especially women shouldn't smoke, because it says right, I mean, there that they gives them wrinkles. You know, so it's it's bad for your looks.
Maybe they want a deeper voice.
It makes you stink. Maybe it's right.
You can sure tell.
My name's Kathy.
And you're right. Your voice too. Your voice
the
too.
older lady sounded better than the younger at the smoking. You know. Wow.
I like my idea of mud wrestling, but I guess it didn't catch on.
Did you have any arguments?
Do you know who's on one?
Oh no, see you walking around like it's a funeral. Not so serious, go.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. I want to tell you about Genesis Total Exteriors. They're absolutely great people. Mark Szymanski is the owner, and they do it all over there. For the outside of your house, listen, they'll do windows. They got these solar windows that kick butt, gutters, painting, fences, decks, roofs. They do it all. And then inside, they do full remodels. These could be just a basement. They could be a pop top, maybe if you're downtown, improvements of all kinds. But give them a call. We've been talking about them a long time. They're on a referral list at referrallist.com. But call Mark directly, 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509. Boy, that smoking topic, we have a lot of people commenting on, but I got to get back to Kenny. Kenny, I apologize. I said I'd get right back to you, but I had that update to do. You had an appointment set. Was it called Mountain View Chevy? What was the name of the dealership?
I'm pretty sure it's just Mountain Chevrolet in Glenwood Springs, Colorado.
Got it. So you had an appointment. You called before you headed down. You verified everything looked good, and that's kind of where we left off. What happened?
Correct. I dropped the truck off there at 5 a.m. Saturday morning on the 17th.
Yep.
It was scheduled for a 3-hour fix on the intake manifold gasket.
Got it.
All right.
So what happened?
She calls me at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm working 80 hours a week out here at Eagle County Airport, so I got time restraints. She calls me at 12 o'clock saying, you have the gasket and 3 other sensors got bad. It'll be a 4-hour job.
Okay.
And they wanted $1,025. At first I barked, but I agreed with her that there may be potential damage to the truck, so go ahead and fix it.
So you agreed to, hold on. So you agreed to $1,025, which was the intake manifold gasket, and then what else?
And mass airflow
sensor, okay.
And 2 other sensors that control the air-fuel mixture.
Okay. So what happened?
All right. She calls me at 12 o'clock saying, I barked about the $1,025, and I agree with her there might be potential damage to the vehicle if I don't get it fixed.
Okay.
Good truck. And she goes, there's only one problem. We close at 2 o'clock. And I said, if that truck was number 2 in line, when I dropped it off, there was a van in front of me, only one driveway going into the place. You know, sometimes just do this one. Anyways, I said, you call me at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too. So what happened, though, Kenny?
Well, the conversation went downhill from there.
I bet it did.
I went and picked up the truck at 10 o'clock that night. When I'm starting at 5:30 in the morning. I picked it up at 10 o'clock last night. She also offered me...
Wait, whoa, Kenny, Kenny, I'm missing a big part of it. Did you have the work done or not?
No.
Okay, so you went and picked it up. This all happened last Saturday, but you picked up the vehicle today?
No, I picked up the vehicle Saturday night.
Okay, at 10 o'clock. I understand. So you picked it up, no work was done. Okay, so you're just venting.
Yes. You know what, man? If she would have put that thing on the how long does it take for a diagnostic machine?
You know,
to throw
Kenny,
those
listen. You don't listen. I was in that business. You don't have to say any more. And I want business owners out there to listen to this. This guy. What time did you call in, Kenny?
For you?
Yeah. What time did you call? I'm using this as an example.
You know, I would say 30 minutes ago.
I'd actually look at this. I'd say you called in about 45 minutes ago. You're
okay,
so upset. Yeah, but listen, you're so upset with Mountain Chevy because they couldn't simply get you in on time, and I agree. If they brought you in when they opened, or like you were under the impression, and, you know, never called you, never did anything. They lost a $1,025 job, which, honestly, there's probably a lot of profit and margin in there. And listen, you driving in your car right now, listen how upset this guy is. We've all been there. It might have been a restaurant, might have been an automotive shop, it might have been the cable company after you sit online for 2 hours and Comcast tells you to reboot your machine, which you've already done 500 times. I understand. Is there anything, though, Kenny, that I can do besides saying I agree with you, they suck, and they should have got it done? They should have had it done on time. They should have been better on their schedule.
Her name is Erica. She's a service write-up manager, and she was the one that created this whole doggone problem.
Yep. Did you talk to her boss at all? I mean, are they willing to do anything now?
They were all gone. I spoke with the service person where the parts room is.
Yeah.
He goes, I will bring this up Monday morning, and we will discuss how we could have handled this better.
And did they contact you? Were they going to contact you?
Are you kidding?
You know, here's what I'd like to do. You know, Dan, I don't even, it's not like they charged them and were trying to get money back, but you know what? Let's let Mountain, God, we need to get their name down right. Let's call up and see if they followed through. Talk to the service manager and tell him exactly what happened. This guy was going to drop this with you. He's working out at Eagle Airport. He's working his butt off 60, 70 hours. He called numerous times, and then you guys throw this at him, and you even upgraded him, meaning he went in for one thing, and you sold him 3 more things. So, you know what? That's the best we're going to be able to do, Kenny. Hold tight. I would like his information, but my God, did you guys hear how upset he is and how long he's been on hold to tell us that? He's not looking for money back. He's not looking for anything.
Wants to vent.
Oh, my goodness. I'd be upset, too. Brandon, this happens with attorneys all the time. Our biggest complaint through referral list attorneys, our #1 complaint, what do you think it is?
Lack of communication.
Communication. I've left a guy 50 messages. I left her 20 messages. No one gets back to me. It's unbelievable. Why does that happen? Do cases just go so slow sometimes, and they just want updates that aren't there?
There's a couple reasons. You know, we do our best to try to get back to people as soon as possible within 24 hours.
I'm talking in general, not you, though.
But you can have circumstances where you're in trial and you really just can't get back to everybody. And if you have a several-day trial, you're locked up preparing for the trial, and then you've got the trial.
And of course, you can't just say, Your Honor, please hold, I got to answer this call.
Exactly. And sometimes it gets hard to communicate with your clients or potential clients that you know you're out of pocket for a little bit and when you'll be able to get back to them.
I saw one of these big firms, one of these big personal injury firms. I'm not going to do an advertisement for them, but they're huge. And they're advertising now that you can log on when you have a case onto the internet and see where your case is at any time. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell does that mean? Because if nothing's going on and they're waiting for the insurance company to call back or they're in negotiations, and you know and I know 90+% of these are all solved before any kind of litigation. So It just seems ridiculous. You're going to log onto the internet, and it's simply going to tell you what? I mean, I can't imagine. There's a real person there. I can't.
Right. Yeah. As far as
but it sounds good.
Yeah. Case status updates. Sometimes you've got clients, they want to know every little thing that's going on in the case, but most of the time, clients are cost conscious. They don't want to be told, I just called the other attorney and we're scheduling mediation. He's going to get back to me. I mean, there's only certain updates when you've got, certain events happening in the case. Then you definitely do. You need to have an ethical obligation to inform your clients.
Oh, we've had some, not referral list members, but we've had some. I can think of one bankruptcy attorney, and I'll just use his first name, Steve, and he sucks in my opinion. But we've had calls where literally he doesn't get back for months and months. I mean, like that, and they've already paid. Some of these places, take $1,500. They say they'll do everything, all the way to filing your case and getting it done. And I'll let everybody out there guess who that is, but they're definitely not on a referral list. I do want to say this. Watch it, businesses. People remember the bad. That guy's a perfect example. Dan, you are going to call during the break, right?
Yep.
And the one I wanted to talk about real quick before we go to break is Stone Falls Landscaping. Listeners, I hate saying that because really I'm talking to individuals out there. People, help me out here. This Ryan Naples, this guy's no good. In my opinion, this guy's a real dirtbag. And I mean that. We've actually had people call behind the scenes and say, you don't know half of it about this Ryan Naples guy. Now listen, I don't know him firsthand, but I got to tell you this. He took $16,000 from a caller for landscaping. He dropped off some boulders. I guess they were going to do a retaining wall. He dug up the backyard. The sprinkler system's not even there. It's just a mess. And the whole job was supposed to be $16,000. He ends up walking off the job. We sent an expert out, Mr. Green Jeans, and go ahead, Suzanne, but the job was horrible. Didn't Mr. Green Jeans say, you know what? He needs to pay this guy to put it back together like it was before he showed up.
Yeah, but wasn't that the same guy who had the lady call in on our back line to say what a great job he did,
right. So
too?
this clown,
that was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, this clown, Ryan Naples, right after Tom and I are talking about him, guess what happens? Someone calls up just out of the blue. Right after we're done talking about him, going, he's on the way, right?
On the back line.
Yeah, on the back line, which we don't give out, except to people to call in, which we gave to Ryan. So stupid Ryan has his girlfriend, or whoever it is, call in and pretend to be a customer. She actually calls in and goes, oh, it was great. I really like Ryan Naples. He's great. He's on the way to my house right now. He's done a great job for all my properties, blah, 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 blah. And you could just tell it was complete BS. So he had this lady call in directly after, through the back line. The guy's a shamster. So just, folks, watch out for him. I'm going to give his number out because if it pops up on your caller ID, I want you to delete it and run like hell. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, will take your money and screw up your backyard to worse than when he started. Ryan Naples, Stone Falls Landscaping and Fencing. We had someone call in, says he lives in his truck. Is that him, or am I thinking of somebody else? Is that right? Suzanne, does he live in his truck? Did someone...
Let me just say, we had a lady who was going to come on and tell Tom. She had called in to say not only was he living in his truck, but he's also like a harasser and stuff to women. I don't know how true all of that is, Mark.
We don't know, and I'm not going to say any of that because I don't know this guy's criminal background. Although, Daphne, I want you to run a criminal background on him for me. Ryan Naples, N-A-P-P-L-E-S, and then bring it up if you're still downstairs. But stay away from this phone number. If you see it, run like hell. 720-429-4646. Ryan Naples. By the way, Ryan, you were going to sue all of us, remember? My understanding is you don't have a pot to piss in. So, and you know how many lawsuits have been brought against Tom in this show? A lot. You know how many we've lost? 0. In fact, I can think of a condo Tom got because he got attorney's fees from some woman that sued him. Because you guess what, Ryan? You're the one out there ripping people off, and all we do is speak the truth, brother. Ryan Naples, Stone Falls Landscaping and Fences. Stay away from them. 720-429-4646.
Guy's a real rat bastard. A fink, I tell you.
Well, not only that, is he allowed it to go on in all the weeds. Remember, he wasn't a weed picker because he let
I don't pick weeds
because the weeds all.
I'm not a weed picker. He's just a nose picker. What is that, man? That shit'll kill you.
They all will. When you give out phone numbers,
Yes.
don't say 720. Say each number individually.
Oh, okay.
It's
Why?
easier for people to hear it.
Okay.
And if they're writing it down and they hear the 20, their brain pauses and they don't hear the next numbers. Just makes it cleaner.
Got it. What is that really you're drinking? Monster?
Yeah.
That shit'll kill you.
It's all gonna kill me.
Oh, man. I had an employee that fucking drank 3 Monsters a day in Red Bull. And what happened to him? Do you remember?
Oh, he's in the hospital.
How many
all the
times
time.
did he end up with arrhythmia? They had to bring him in and shock his
Yeah,
heart to go
fine.
back. And they literally said, that's why.
Wow.
He ran at 160 beats per minute for 3 months and didn't even know it. They said he's lucky if he only took 2 years off his life. They shocked him back into normal. But how could your heart rate be that quick? And
People
not
are
know?
on drugs and cocaine and all
Yeah,
kinds
but
of
Mike
stuff
wasn't.
running their hearts like that. Did you hear where hey,
Hold, please.
did you hear where Brandon's going with his wife? Very soon.
I'm sorry, I flipped the cat in the bag. Hawaii.
What you going to the island?
Maui.
Is that the best one?
That's what I've heard. I mean, we don't really know much about it.
I feel like Oahu or something like that's really nice too.
I was talking to some guys in California about a client, a company in California, and they said Maui's their favorite, for sure. Both
Really?
said that.
The only thing better
They've been
than
there
Maui
all
would be like Cancun.
Well, we're going there,
Hawaii,
but next year for me. I'm going Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we're probably do the Mexico thing next time. That way we can bring the kids. This one we're not bringing the kids, so it's just the anniversary.
I love all inclusives. How many years?
Oh, what are we at? 14 years?
Oh, we got you beat. So you had that first kid way before you got married.
Yeah, he was like 5.
We waited a while, man. We got married and waited 6, 7 years easily.
Well, that's what I heard you say at the business seminar. You guys were in high school together, still lovebirds?
I was already out. I got booted out of my house. I had a full-time job.
Right.
And she just got her GED at 16. I was a stock manager at a grocery store, and she was a checker.
Right. That's a cute story.
I said, shit, you're telling me I can get my high school diploma in a weekend. It was funny, too, in New Jersey where I got mine. There's no difference. They're all state diplomas.
The GED doesn't look any different, huh?
No.
Right.
I always said, good enough diploma.
Yeah, we didn't do the all-inclusive. We got.
I don't think they do in Hawaii.
But we got some business miles where we just type in from our. We put everything on credit cards, so it's like
I use all my
tons of good miles accumulated. So.
I had 500,000 venture points. You think that's a lot, but it's basically it comes down to less than 10 grand.
Right. Yeah.
But still, it's 10 grand that were purely rewards over 4 or 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
But you can only use, well, it didn't matter because I bought and paid for everything, and then I could apply them to that trip.
Right.
Because the weird thing about the venture, you can only apply them to stuff that's travel.
Hmm.
You didn't tell us how you did in Vegas.
I did great.
You killed it
great.
again?
So Monday, Tuesday, I lose maybe, I lost a $400 Rockies bet. I lost maybe $100 on the horses. So I'm about 500 down. Thursday, I hit a Rockies game, a different game. I hit over 1,000 win on baseball. So I win 1,000. And then in blackjack, I hit $1,500. So I come up almost 1,500, 2,000, and then I just quit. I didn't gamble anymore. I think I played another $200.
No poker?
No poker, not even one. I didn't even sit down. All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We got a roofing company problem. God, stay away from that, Ryan
Mark,
Maples.
that's a follow-up from Friday. Tom told him, I don't know what the problem was, but Tom said, call the company, then call us back. So I figured he could recap.
Matt, give me a scoop. What happened Friday, sir?
You're on the wrong one. Lonnie, too, is the one with the roofing company,
No,
not
I'm sorry.
Matt.
Matt, I'm sorry. Lonnie, what happened Friday? I wasn't here.
I called in Friday. I had this roofing company do my roof on my garage in my house 4 years ago. Got a 5-year warranty on it.
Okay.
And I called them up because I had some shingles blown off the garage roof, so I called them up about a warranty issue.
You realize that could be wind damage, but keep going.
It very well, yeah, it more than likely is.
Sure.
But
you called them, so what'd they say?
They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do nothing. They just told me to file another claim.
Did they come out and look at it?
No, they wouldn't do anything.
See, once again, it's stupid business people day. These guys could have come out, would have seen where are you located. I guess it doesn't even matter. Everywhere around here has had 50-plus mile-an-hour winds. They'd probably look at it. They'd come to you and say, listen, this isn't a warranty issue. It's most likely wind damage. We need to file another claim. And you would file a claim, and they'd have a whole other job. But they decided not to do anything.
Yeah, that's all they did was tell me to file another claim.
Oh, man, without even looking at it.
Yeah.
What's the name of the company?
Deluxe Roofing.
I've never heard of them. You know what? They're deluxely stupid. I just can't imagine. There's so many roofers listening right now. Imagine what this Deluxe Roofing just gave up. They had the ability to go out there and possibly start a whole new claim and just help this guy out that used them once already. If it was warranty work, big deal. You replace some shingles, you do it under warranty, that's great. Most likely it was wind damage. And what happens? They blow the job. Now, Lonnie, more importantly, did you have someone look at it before it gets worse?
Not yet. I was trying to call them first.
What area are you in?
I'm in Peyton, Colorado. It's east of Colorado Springs.
Man, I would call up, I'm pretty sure Excel goes out there. I don't know if they go out to Peyton, but Old World Roofing. Who's the other one?
Petrali, Best Hands, I believe.
Petrali, Best Hands. There's a bunch on the referral list, but pick one of them. They'll go out, and here's the first thing. They'll tell you for free if it is warranty work, and God help Deluxe, if it's warranty work, then we'll get involved. Okay?
All right, that'll work for me.
But call one of them. These examples are unbelievable. These examples are unbelievable of how not to run a business. What, are they so busy over at Deluxe Roofing that they don't want to look at a warranty issue? I call somebody. They missed what could be another $10,000 job. It's crazy. Ah, man, I just can't believe what people do. And then these people, did we talk to this Mountain Chevy, Deputy Dan?
Here's the thing, Mark. Sorry, Dan. So Kenny had to text me the phone number. He had to hang up to get the phone number. So I'm waiting for that phone number and contact info for us to call.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they're thinking. I mean, here's the deal. If that's average margin in a shop, that $1,025 this guy was going to spend until they decided to hold him over till Monday and he needed his truck, they're probably making 7 bills off that. So what do? You knock off 100. You say, I'm sorry, we screwed up. We're taking responsibility. And they still make money. They still have a customer. It's remarkable to me. It's so stupid. I know you can't do the job for free, Mountain Chevy, if that's what they're called, but I'd like to know what they have to say about it. And then to tell the guy, you guys are going to discuss it. One of the people said, we're going to discuss it in the morning and figure out how to handle it next time. I bet there was no discussion. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, probably not and stuff. It got dropped, I'm sure.
It's just, man. But it's not just the bad customer service right there with either of them. It's the fact they both missed paying jobs. That's the part that drives me nuts. I'm not going to use company names, but there's a company that they get so many calls we send them, and they're a great company. They get so many calls we send them, they get backed up. They get backed up. And I said, well, you just got to communicate. The worst thing to do is not call someone back. So what do? You say, listen, we're so busy right now. Give us about 30 days. We'll call you back. And you put it on your calendar, and you have someone call them back, and you do it that way. You can have the best product. You can have the best people. You can have the best everything. But if that process isn't down, if you get too busy, tell the customer, I hate to say it, I can't do the job right now. And my God, why are you advertising so heavily if you can't do it? How many times has this happened, Dan?
Right. No, it's the number one complaint.
The number one complaint. Think about that. This Mountain Chevy or whoever they are, they had a $1,000 job from a new customer, and then they blow it because of time frame. And this guy went out of the way to call numerous times, say, hey, I'm going to be there. I'm going to drop it off at 5 o'clock. Are we still going to be on time? I got to have my truck back. I'm working at the airport, blah, 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 blah. It's ridiculous. This deal with Matt, a lady on Facebook took his money. You know, is this one of those catfishing things? Is this the one I heard you guys talking about?
Yeah, I feel bad for Matt.
So you really think it's a catfishing scam?
Oh, well, I don't know exactly what a catfishing scam is, but this guy got scammed by somebody pretending to be a pretty lady.
It's like if Dan dressed up as a woman.
No, not really.
And created a Facebook account and lured men in there for a striptease or something. I don't know, but it's catfishing. Pretending to be something you're not. Matt, I promise I'll come back. And then Lonnie, we're going to reach out. I don't even know what to do with Lonnie's. I'd like to talk to that roofing company. Now that I think about it, get Deluxe's number. See if they'll come on and say, listen, we know you didn't do anything wrong. We just want to understand why you made this decision. Are you so sure, or are you so busy you don't need anybody to go out and look at this and possibly get another job? See if they'll come on and just talk about it. I'm not upset with them. I would like to hear what whoever's the decision person there, I'd like to hear what they have to say about this. And more importantly, I'd like to know if the owner or general manager or whoever's running the show over there even knows that his people handled it this way, and I'd like to know if it was him. Just ask him these questions. That's what I would like to do. But Matt, I promise I'll come back to you, and we can free Lonnie up. Just get his phone number. But I got to tell you, another great company. These guys are on our referral list. They've been there for a long time. My old house, I bought 2 of their garage door openers. They're kick butt. I got to tell you, they're LiftMaster 8550. They got the MyQ technology. They've got the battery backup. If you get the internet gateway, you can add that on later or when you buy it. You know, if you get that, you can open and close your door from any computer anywhere, including, you know, your smartphone, your tablet, anything like that. It'll automatically close if you set it up, if you forget to close it at night. $299, and that includes labor. And I got to tell you what I love about One Clear Choice doors. How quiet these 8550s are. They'll also come out and they can do tune-ups and do everything. And anything you need, whether it's openers or garage doors themselves, call One Clear Choice Garage. Great guys. You can find them on the referral list or give them a call right now, 303-565-6409, 303-565-6409.
So what would you, on Mountain Chevrolet, would you have paid your guy overtime to go do that something?
I would have had it done. Are you kidding? I wouldn't give up $1,000 job if someone wants to.
But like I said, or people say, hey, I'm off at 2, I'm going to, I mean.
Not my guys. They wouldn't be with me.
Okay.
And my guys all got paid by the booked hour. That's money that they're literally not making.
But if you got
like Mike would make $35. If that intake manifold, the mass airflow, if it called for, say, 4 hours, 35 times 4, so he's giving up $1.50 for another couple hours of work. Maybe they didn't have anybody there that could do it. Maybe they couldn't get the parts.
Well, it sounds like they were communicating with them. They just didn't do it.
With the roofing one, pardon me, we already called them on Friday. They said their claim is that this guy never did call them. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, well, let's see if they want to come on and talk about it.
There's the dealership stuff. Okay.
And then if they don't want to come on, then you come on and say that. Say who talked to them?
I don't know. Dan, did you talk to him? It must have been Alan.
Deluxe Roofing?
Not me. Must have been Alan.
Okay, so we don't know. I thought you guys updated our list when we talked to people. Do we do that? Yeah, I got you.
I don't think so. Maybe not as good as we should.
Procedure.
Yeah, we have to hit the procedures. Okay, I'm going to wait till I get back on. I'm going to switch over.
You know, it's hard for attorneys to get a system, like you talk about systemizing callbacks, because your legal assistants don't know necessarily what your schedule is. Just because you don't have hearings or court dates doesn't mean you don't have 5 projects due. You don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I spend 15 minutes to a half hour each day having to get, and people that are calling me, they want to get a free piece of legal advice or free as well. So I end up spending time on the phone with them. It actually gets to be a problem trying to call people back. And
I can only imagine, for real.
So much of it's, do you handle this kind of work, or is this in your, or they'll be like, well, I got sued in this California, and like, we're not licensed. But you have to call them and explain all that to them.
What's that?
So Ryan Nichols.
Oh, good.
Nichols. His
Yeah.
background check
it's, I don't think anybody has been pulled over as much as this person.
Let me see it.
Oh, I didn't copy it. It was just all traffic. I mean,
Well, they said he lived in his freaking vehicle.
you can tell he did. Like unlawful parking.
Oh, really?
Not
How many
having a
unlawful
seat-
parkings?
Probably 3.
Okay.
Then there was, not having his seatbelt on.
He was sleeping. He was sleeping.
Then, expired tags, no insurance.
You never know.
And then there were 2 that were, money that.
This guy on Yelp, he says, got a 1 star. He says he backed up into my car with his company truck in a service station parking lot, causing significant damage.
And he probably didn't have insurance.
Oh, you're looking at one?
Yeah, well, Yelp just kind of make consistent with what happening.
And Deluxe Roofing,
Yeah.
I called them.
Oh, you talked to him.
And, no, they hung up on me.
Oh, they did?
They're like, we've never talked to him, and,
So they hung up on you.
and we're not talking to you, and hung up on me.
Get Deluxe's info and put it up, too.
So they were kind of asses. So I decided to,
And first see if they want to come on.
I was starving, so I thought I'd just drive through Taco Bell real quick. 6 people walked out and quit. I got stuck in the freaking line for 25 minutes.
You mean during the day?
Like right now. This is what I'm
How do you
like.
know they quit?
I saw a whole bunch of them walk out, and then I saw these guys get really mad. And then one of the managers came out a different door and went in and locked the door. I thought they were being robbed. And so these 2 guys walk out, they like slam the door and they spit on this other car, and then they drive out. So I'm videotaping it. I'm thinking they're being robbed. So I'm videotaping the car. And so I'm like,
You're like a news reporter.
and so people are actually stopping and waiting for their stuff, and they're charging them.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, hell no, I don't know who's making it.
Okay,
So
hold
I got-
All right, 303-713-8255. We've got a ton going on. I've got a couple things here. So, A, Ryan Naples with Stone Falls Landscaping and Fencing. We did a background check on this guy. Now, the funny part is, we're not seeing anything that big on him. I mean, there's no like armed robbery or anything crazy like that. But he's got a ton of like parking violations and other stuff. We actually had a caller call in. I think it was a she. She was going to come on and give us the whole skinny on this guy. But she said for a long time he lived out of his van, maybe still. So, in what you found, Daphne, kind of coincides with that. You found a lot of parking violations. What did you find?
Parking violations, expired tags, no insurance, 3 parking violations.
Parking like in the wrong spot? What was it?
Yeah, like they wanted to tow him away.
And then the funny part is, Brandon Siglian, who's in studio with us, you went on and found some stuff on Yelp, and it's got to do with his driving, too.
Yeah, he's got like 7 reviews on Yelp, 5 of which are 1 stars, with photos, and one guy that apparently had his
he hit him?
Yeah, vehicle bashed
Allegedly.
by a truck.
Yeah, listen, in my opinion, this guy's the real deal bad guy to stay away from. Ryan Naples, Stone Falls Landscaping and Fences. I can't say enough about this guy because he really irritates me. He took $16,000. Not only did he not finish the job for the caller, but on top of not finishing the job, he caused more damage than if he just never showed up. I mean, the guy's $16,000 he takes and leaves the guy's property like hell. Unbelievable, Mr. Naples. Stone Falls Landscaping. Stay away from these people. If you see this phone number show up on your caller ID, run like hell. 720-429-4646. It's crazy. Now, the second thing I want to follow up is we were talking about Deluxe Roofing. So this call came in last week, and Daphne, I just found out, I wasn't here last week, but you called over there. We have Lonnie. Lonnie, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
So you called in Friday. You called to see if they would do some warranty work. They told you no, file another claim. Daphne, you did call over there Friday. What did Deluxe Roofing have to say?
They said that they've never spoken to Lonnie, and they're not going to talk to me. And she actually did tell me, I'm going to hang up on you, and she hung up on me. And then Lonnie and I spoke.
So she was polite about hanging up on you?
She was polite about the hang-up, yes.
You know, that's crazy. So here's the deal, though, Lonnie. They're saying you didn't even call over there. I don't know.
I have a bad feeling about these guys.
Why?
I don't know. When I call, I've called twice now.
Yeah.
It sounds like they may see us on their caller ID. They answer and hang right up. They answer and hang right up.
Oh, man. You know what? Deluxe Roofing, now they're playing games for no reason. I just wanted to talk to them, see why they make stupid decisions, quite frankly. But now I'm starting to see that they're probably there's probably bigger issues there. That's my opinion. But there's probably bigger issues than we know about at Deluxe Roofing. And what area are they in again, Lonnie? Just there, you said Peyton, but I assume they handle Colorado Springs.
No, they're out of Littleton, Denver, up there.
Oh,
yeah, they are out of Littleton.
I've got them mixed up down here then with that other guy. So these guys are out of Littleton. This is crazy. Hold on. Didn't you say you lived in Peyton, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just live far away.
Yeah.
How did you find these guys?
My insurance company actually had them do the estimate.
Who's your insurance company? I'm going to stay away from them, too.
It was AAA.
Yeah, it was.
I don't have them no more.
I'm glad you don't, because they steered you wrong in this deal. You know, even though when insurance companies say, use this body shop, use this roofer, always watch it. You know, Lonnie, there's not much we can do for you besides tell you, hey, call Excel, call one of these other people, and get it figured out, man. I appreciate you calling, and I appreciate you warning people about Deluxe Roofing and their horrible, in my opinion, customer service. Hanging up on Deputy Daphne. How dare they? How dare they? This is insane. Why are they being such jerks over there? Why? Are they so busy they don't need other things? And Suzanne, did we try to call them? They just hung up twice.
Twice. It sounds like they answer and hang right up.
You know what?
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe the phone number's not working. So if folks out there listening could actually help us out and tell us if this phone number's working. They're at 720-922-3058. Apparently, when you call up Deluxe Roofing, it just is a weird, like, let me see, like this maybe? Something like that. That's what I'm guessing. So maybe it's broke. Maybe we're calling the wrong number. But maybe you can help us out. 720-922-3058. That's Deluxe Roofing. And I guess apparently they don't want to talk to us. They don't want to talk to Lonnie. They tell them to file another claim. They don't want to look and see if it is warranty work. They did the roof. The guy had some shingles blow off. Now, most likely it was wind damage, but they won't even look at it. Yep, that's Deluxe Roofing. Deluxe screw you job is what I think they do. 720-922-3058. Deluxe Roofing, stay away from them. We've got great roofers on our referral list, and have them call one of them. Once again, here's a company, Deluxe Roofing. Why? Why are they acting this way? I don't get it. Daphne, I hear you call companies. You're as nice as can be. In fact, sometimes I go, why are you being so nice?
You and Tom both think that I'm too nice, but sometimes that's the way to get your foot in the door. But, yeah. No,
well, and I agree. You don't want to, because we don't know the other side of the story yet. All we want to do is...
And that's exactly what I said. We just want to hear your side of the story. And
you've got a guy calling up a radio station, a radio show, bitching about your service. That's what's going on. What do you have to say about? Oh, click. I mean, it's ridiculous. Deluxe Roofing, you don't have to talk to us. Simply tell us off air then. Say, hey, listen, this guy called. We know he took a picture of it or whatever. But you know what? I don't think they did any of that. I think it is exactly what Lonnie said. Lonnie called up, said, hey, some shingles came off. You guys did my roof. You gave me a 5-year warranty. Is it warranty work? What is it? And they say, no, just file another claim. That's all. They don't even want to look at it, to the best of our knowledge. All right, listen, we have got a ton of stuff going on. Matt, I promise we'll get to this one. You'll be up next. And then Stan has a solution to the smoking neighbor. I can't wait to hear that. Anyhow, there is a lot going on. One line open, 303-713-8255. We've got another hour to go. You can always find us on Facebook. And by the way, I do believe the podcast situation has been fixed. We'll talk about that, too. My name's Mark Major, and save all your problems for us.
I've said it before.
This left, this right,
It doesn't?
oh, I guess just the left one's louder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, so go ahead.
No, somebody else, another gal called in and said, I'm another neighbor of Marilyn's, the smoking, and she gave her number if we want to call her. I don't know.
Is she for or against her?
For Marilyn.
For Marilyn?
Smoke is really bad.
Okay. So I called up Mountain Chevrolet. So I talked to Erica. She said on Fridays, she said, we normally don't do this type of work, you know, but we'll try to get it in. And so he said, that's the only time I could do it. So they did, and she said, yes, it did take longer. And then they offered her a free loaner vehicle, and they would finish it up this morning.
But he didn't take him up on it.
But he didn't take it up on it.
I don't know what to make of that.
So, like I said, I don't know, I can't remember him saying anything about the loaner vehicle, but she said we offer him a free loaner vehicle.
It sounds like since he works at the airport, he probably needs his truck.
For hauling, or?
I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't know
what... But no, I mean, that's a big part of it, so...
I don't know what a company can do besides that. You know,
not promise it'll be done after the guy says this numerous times. But shit happens. I mean, there's no...
Shit happens, and they told him Friday that, you know, hey, we normally don't do this type of work on Saturdays. You know, but we'll try to get it in there and stuff, so... I think they did.
What do you make of this deluxe roofing? Just hanging up on her, then hanging up on Suzanne twice.
Oh, Lonnie did say...
Folks, are we on mic here?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're listening, please, on Facebook, call this Deluxe Roofing and see what the hell their issue is. 720-922-3058, Deluxe Roofing. They're just hanging up on everybody.
So I talked to Lonnie before, and I thought he said they actually used a different shingle type on the house and the garage. The house was fine. It's the garage.
But what's that got to do with not looking at it?
He thinks it's an inferior shingle that they put on the garage. That's what Lonnie at first said.
Well, even
and that's why it blew off.
Well, it's got to be if it's a 5-year warranty. But, I mean, regardless, if it's still under 5 years, who cares?
Right. Oh, no, they should definitely take care of it. But he said the house one was shingled at the same time. No shingles blew off the house.
Man, I still can't get over that Cosby. There's something that we don't know on that Cosby deal. And here's the part that blew me away, Brandon. So he had a deal years ago in the civil trial where he took basically a plea, if you will. They would not pursue criminal if he gave that testimony. So the DA signed off on it, everybody signed off on it, and it was done. Then years later, a new DA is in. So the new DA says, I don't care what deal the old DA made, we're going to go back and we're going to use that. I didn't know that was legal.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
They used his testimony. Yep, on this one here.
But they said they wouldn't. That was part of the whole deal.
That's weird that the district attorney would get involved in a civil case like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't civil. Now it's criminal.
No, it's criminal, but why is the DA getting involved in a prior civil case to say, if you agree to the settlement, we won't bring charges?
Oh, this is a different person, different girl.
Oh, it's a different girl, different person altogether than that first.
Right.
Okay.
It was a civil case, another girl, but he testified, you know, in that one.
Okay.
So.
And so this criminal was a totally different, different case. Well,
and apparently she waited a year to file it criminally, and Cosby apparently said, well, you know, then she didn't get any money.
Right. Oh, so she didn't even win the civil?
She didn't do a civil.
No. God, you know what, though? There's so many women. I find it almost impossible to believe 60 people would make this shit up.
How about somebody like Cosby, especially? You know,
Right.
This guy's such a reputation for being, you know, like you said, the Huxtable.
It's so crazy.
Or Papa, you know, or what it was at the,
somebody said
what was that cartoon, Fat Albert, you know.
Right.
And that was really, you know,
I thought I
some stuff, you know.
heard that somebody said when he came to Denver, they had to line up women for him.
Oh, really?
I saw him live. Remember his kid died, got hit by a car or something. His kid was a drug dealer. At least I thought he was. But, yeah. Welcome to the show, 303-713-8255, the only number you need. If you've been ripped off, taken advantage of, give us a call right now. Actually, I'll take that back. When a line drops off, I'll let you know. I'll give that number out again. But 303-MARTINO, 303-713-8255. We've got a lot cooking. Suzanne, where did it end up with Arapahoe Hyundai? They said they were going to release that, or at least they told Dan that. Did that guy ever set up a time?
He's going to go there Wednesday, and if he's going to let us know either way, Mark.
Ah, beautiful. So his dad apparently signed and purchased a $63,000 car, but his dad had a lot of, I guess, mental problems, according to the caller. And on top of that, he's in the hospital in ICU right now. But Deputy Dan called up, and sure enough, they're just going to make the deal go away, right?
That's what he said.
No harm, no foul.
Right, but he needs to go and talk with them.
Well, he has to. Someone's got to go down. I can't just show up and cancel deals.
Right.
I mean, you got to have someone there representing this guy. All right, so this next one we're going to bring up, man, gosh, we've got all... Suzanne, give me some direction here. My
I would
God.
take Matt. He's been holding a long time with that Facebook problem.
Matt, what happened on Facebook? It sounds like you were catfished. What happened? Give me the scoop.
Well, I got her on Facebook and all that.
How'd you find her on Facebook, though?
Well, it's just like, it's like you look people up pictures and all that.
Yeah, but
so.
Matt, I understand that. What I'm saying is, were you just sitting there and it came up on your news feed? How did they reach out to you through like a private message? How did they contact you through Facebook?
No, actually it's like, you contact, there's a messenger bar and all that.
That's right. So did you contact them?
Kind of.
What does that mean, kind of? My God, Matt, just help me out here. Who contacted who? Did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them? It's not a hard question.
No, I reached out to them. And
perfect.
Stuff,
Now, what were you reaching out for?
Well, kind of like looking for, a friendship relationship.
Okay. Okay, so it's a woman, I assume?
Yeah.
And then you saw that she was single or whatever it happened to be, and you were reaching out, hey, how are you, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, we started chatting and all that, and then we got on this other messenger, which is called Hangouts.
Hangouts. Isn't that Google Hangouts? Yes. Okay.
Yes. So we were chatting on that and all that.
You guys were hanging out.
No, it's kind of like, like a text message.
Yeah, I understand. I know what Google Hangouts. Yes, I understand. So now what?
So, we were chatting and all that.
Yes.
And it's like we were starting a relationship, like a dating relationship and all that.
So you thought, I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay. So where did it go wrong? Did you go to meet him and the chick's a dude? What happened?
Well, I found out with her area code and stuff. Since she had the area code 715, I looked that up, and that's all the way out in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Okay, so when I found that out, and then, here and stuff, I've been, actually sending her money.
Whoa, wait a second, Matt. We just went from 0 to 60. So, first of all, was your expectation this relationship was simply going to be over messengers, or was your expectation she lived around here and you were going to eventually meet her or him or it?
Well, that's what I thought, but I think I know her location and all that.
So why did you send money? What was the money for?
I thought it could be going into a relationship.
Well, okay, so you sent her money for a relationship.
Oh, no. First, I think she was having problems. First, I think it was her iTunes, her iPhone and all that.
So she needed money to pay for her iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, so you sent her money to pay her bills?
Kind of, and then after that...
How much did you send the first time?
I think it was almost like $50.
Okay, and how did you send this $50?
The iTunes gift card.
Okay, so you bought...
He sent a bunch of iTunes gift cards, Mark.
What was the total amount, Matt?
$13.50.
Man, you did get scammed, brother. Come on. What were you hoping to get in return for this? I mean, be straight with me. It's just you and I. What were you hoping? Were you hoping on some pictures back? Were you hoping on what? Honest to God, man, what?
I fell in the mouse. It's like falling in the mouse trap.
I know you did. There's no doubt about that. But what were you expecting? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You knew at this point that she lived in Wisconsin, and who knows, all those numbers can be spoofed. But what were you hoping to get for this money?
Love.
Okay.
Oh, that stinks.
I guess I'm the only one missing it. Okay,
Well,
I mean,
he just thought that, you know, he essentially thought he could buy her love in a way. He just wants a companion, Mark.
okay.
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Oh,
Facebook.
God, this is getting sappy.
Love stinks.
Well, am I the only one? Am I the only one hearing this story and going, okay, so listen.
No, because I think people are taking advantage of Mark.
Matt, I want to be very honest with you, and you need to be very honest with me if you want us to help, okay? Was your expectation that she was going to send you, like, nude photographs or something? Was that the expectation?
She did send me some photographs on the Hangouts.
Okay, so you guys exchanges. So, have you called her, the 715 or whatever? If we call that number, what do we get?
You're just going to be texting her.
Have we texted this?
Allie has texted, and there's a conversation going on, but the other
what is the whoa, what's the conversation, though?
Just, how you doing, baby? You know, oh, good.
Is it evident it's
What are
just
you
all
wearing?
crap?
Yeah,
Allie's
it's all
back
crap.
tomorrow. We
This
can
is
ask
like
her.
this is like the old-fashioned 900 numbers. Here's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, what if you sent her money to pay bills? Think about what you're telling me, Matt. You sent this person money to pay bills. I don't even see, and I know everybody listening is going, well, of course you got catfish taken advantage of. Fine. I agree with that, but I don't see any laws broken. If I tell someone that I want money to pay my iPhone bill and other stuff, give me an iTunes card, and you guys buy me one, what did I do wrong here?
Yeah, but at some point they wanted Matt to sign something. Matt, what did that person want you to sign? A marriage certificate?
Yes, it was a marriage certificate.
Do you have a copy of this marriage certificate?
Never sent to me.
Okay, well, I mean,
Thank God.
what that big deal if he signed?
But Mark, we have the address where he sent these iTunes cards, and it's in Albuquerque.
So you sent it directly to a...
There's also
That was all digital?
MoneyGram.
MoneyGram.
There was MoneyGram in there too.
Matt, you got to be so careful. I mean...
I know.
Matt, where do you live? I mean, you're in Colorado, right?
Do
you live by yourself?
I live in Aurora, Colorado. Well, actually, I'm living in my mother's house.
Okay.
And I have a roommate.
Does your mom know this happened?
Yes, I did tell her.
That sucks, man. They did. They took advantage of this guy. The problem is, I can't even say, Brandon, from a legal standpoint, I realize they're in Albuquerque, but if everything is what it said, she said, no matter what she does with the iTunes, if she represented himself, herself, itself as paying bills, I mean, what law was broke? Even if this guy had $1 zillion to hire an attorney, what would you go after?
Right. Well, I think the theory would be under larceny by trick. I think would be
so maybe it's not a woman, for example.
Right. Or these photos that were sent over were not really her.
Ah.
Those kind of things.
That's very true. Now, what happens if they were her, though?
Well, then whether or not she actually,
because he's a sap doesn't mean that she did anything wrong, and I'm being serious.
The intent can be difficult to prove. So,
God, Matt, you got to be so careful, man. You can't fall prey to this stuff. You realize this stuff pops up on the internet. You realize you could be one click away from locking up any file on your computer, giving other people access to that computer where they could put stuff on your computer that could get you thrown in jail for that matter. You have got to be so careful. I don't... Okay, let's do this. You're saying Allie is texting back and forth with whoever this is. Is she playing it like a stooge?
So there's Stacy's phone number and Stacy's sister's supposedly phone number, and yeah, she's playing the stooge. And then I left a message at the house in Albuquerque, and it's a gentleman's home.
Yeah, you said he was like 100 years old or
85, and Tom had me
There's
say...
the love of his life sitting out there. And, yeah.
We're doing an investigation about catfish, and of course we haven't gotten a call back.
It's so crazy.
I was very nice.
You got to be so careful. This is one of these ones, we'll have fun with this. We'll have fun with it, chatting back and forth, seeing what we can figure out when they ask for money, but my God, nothing's going to happen here.
It's so hard to figure out where they're actually located. Like you said, they can spoof the phone numbers. I've dealt with, and I'm sure there's probably some federal laws as well that have been violated, but to try to get the ear of law enforcement when this is such a problem.
No, it's crazy, and there's so many of these things that go down all the time. And once again, I got to go back and say, I understand what you're saying, false representation, but at the same time, if she didn't send pictures, I just saying it's just a hard case to even prove. You talk to a district attorney about this, and he goes, okay, so what'd you do? Well, she needed to pay bills, so I sent her an iTunes card. He's going to look at you like, okay, what do you want me to do? I mean, what would you expect out of a DA there? Now, you find out it's something that, and it probably is some kind of ring that's going on, but man, getting a district attorney to take this, we got contractors that simply take money and go, and never to show up anywhere or do anything, and DAs won't touch them. So, I mean, my God, this is crazy. Be careful. Be careful on the Internet. Free Matt up will have fun with his date, you know, when they start texting back. But other than that, man, just be careful, Matt. And I say this, and I try to make an example of you so other people don't do it. But that's where it is. And here's what they do. They prey on guys like that. They prey on guys that are living at home with their mom. And, you know, I don't know what his work situation is, his dating situation, but apparently he's looking for one thing. They were looking for something else. I mean, it's a match made in hell. 303-713-8255. First hour, we had a woman call up and say, hey, my neighbor smokes so much, the smoke comes through the door, it comes through the walls, I can't turn my air conditioning unit on. Hell, if I open my window up, it blows through hers into mine, the hallway, in the condominium, everything. Smoke, smoke, smoke. And we found out, Brandon was reading the HOA bylaws and the rules, and they grandfathered smokers in, but if I bought a place there now, I couldn't smoke in there, but the people that were smoking were grandfathered, and there's really not much anybody can do, but no one can seem to get rid of the smell. Stan, you have a solution. What is it?
Yes, I do. Somebody on your referral list that does with smoke damage and everything like that.
I'm sorry, what's it called?
Somebody on your referral list?
Yes.
That works with smoke damage and, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, you mean like, I know what you mean, like
restoration
disaster.
Cleaning the carpets and the
yeah, but Stan, the woman doesn't want to quit smoking. That's the main problem.
For $80,000, she'll quit.
Oh, that's right. For 80 grand, she'll quit.
Yeah, but you see, if somebody on your referral list was to go out and clean both apartments, to refreshen both of them all, so they're not smelling each other's stuff, you know. And it's been in her 5 years.
But she's still smoking.
She's
still smoking.
Like a stack, you know.
I understand. I appreciate it. If she was moving, I'd say he's got something there. But she's not moving. This woman is smoking. In fact, according to the caller, she invites neighbors over that aren't allowed to smoke because they're renting or weren't grandfathered, and just lights up.
It's kind of a speakeasy.
She denies it, but that's what they're saying. Oh, my goodness. It's one thing after another. You know, Al Aramis with Pro Auto. Al, you get into cars. Do you ever pull cars in? I mean, you've been a tech forever and a day.
Yeah.
You've pulled in cars in your time. I mean, you own Pro Auto now, but I bet you still jump in and pull stuff up onto the rack.
I just did. I just drove a car around. And you're talking about the smoking, right?
Oh, my God. I remember back in the day, you could tell people that were just chain smokers, and I don't know how you'd ever get rid of those smells in cars.
Those smells are horrible. You know what's even worse now? We get people that just get wasted, and they're smoking pot.
Oh, the dope.
Cars are like, man, we drive them around the block a couple times. That way we just feel lightheaded.
They don't even...
No, only kidding. Only kidding.
They don't even pretend anymore. And I'm going back 5 years. Yeah, you just see a roach or a joint sitting in the ashtray. It's crazy. Now, I do want to talk about this. We just got back from a long trip, and I'll tell you what, I had my AC on the whole way. You have got to have people getting in there for AC services.
Yeah, and this is the biggest thing. I got to tell you, a lot of people bring ACs when they break. Hey, it's not working. Can you fix it? Well, you know what? Preventive maintenance is smart. And the only way you will know whether it's worked right, whether it's charged correctly, is to test it. You got to test pressures and you got to check output.
That's right.
To see what the temperature is. So we do that as a service, and we do this for Martino listeners at no charge to do that inspection. So I pay my technicians to look at your car for free. If you decide you want to do the service with me, I'm going to drop 15% off of the service.
If they need it.
Yeah, if they need it. I'm going to tell you if you need it or not.
Al, you kill me. You kill me on this one because I used to get $79 to do an AC inspection. You got to hook up the machine. You got to check the levels. You got to do everything. But if they do need to do an evap and recharge or have any leaks or anything, they'll get 15% off. But more importantly, even on newer vehicles, they should get it checked out right now.
That's right. And we're going to back it with 3 years, 36,000 miles. Okay, that's hard to beat, man. It's national. You go say you have a problem with your AC,
And
the
free
800
roadside assistance. Let's not forget that. I mean, you guys really do it all down there. And I also want to say this. You've been around. You've got 2 locations. You know what's going on. If you start doing business with these guys, folks, you're not going to be sorry. Pro Auto. Al runs a great company. If you ever have an issue, you just ask for the owner. But I'll tell you what, we get almost no issues on them. They're great people. Free AC inspection. 303 Pro Auto. 303 Pro Auto. And check this out. 303proauto.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Well, the drive around town.
Let's say this Jeffco case stuff.
Ideal?
This Jeffco case, they did the same thing about sealing all the pipes, any kind of opening, they sealed it up with foam and whatever, and they weren't able to figure out, they all had their own separate HVAC systems. Well, it turns out there was a soffit that was between the units, and that was, to fix that would have been way too much money, so that was the one.
I wonder how they'd even fix it, just fill it with foam?
With the soffit, you can't. I think you can't, because it contained wiring. It contained,
Oh, yeah.
You know, so there was no way to.
It's getting through somehow.
And in this case, you know, it was an older place. The building codes at that time did not require blocking between units. That's required today. Yeah, it was housing pipes, a structural beam, and wiring that ran through each unit.
So they allowed them to keep smoking?
Well, in this case, there.
Okay, hold on, I gotta do this. All right, this is what I hear sitting next to Tom most mornings. Beep, 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 beep. You have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll tell you what I'm talking about, his tinnitus treatment. And it's unbelievable. He's got this thing that goes in his ear, and I hear it every morning, and basically it plays different tones. And it teaches them, I don't know if it teaches them to ignore that sound, but I got to tell you, it is unbelievable. I can't say it's 100% gone, his tinnitus problem, but I got to tell you, he is so much better. That ringing in his ears is almost stopped at this point, and he continues the treatment. Eventually, he's not even going to have to do the treatment, and he gets to keep this device. If it comes back in a year or two, he can put it in there and retrain his brain not to hear it. It is quite incredible. If you suffer from tinnitus, I want you to call Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa. They're great people. They look at everybody as an individual, of course, and they're going to find the best way to help you with your tinnitus, or just a free hearing test for that matter if you need a hearing aid. But tinnitus, it's absolutely unbelievable, this new way they have of treating it. I want you to call them if you have that ringing in your ears. If you've seen other people and they say that they can't get rid of it totally, or you still hear it after treatments, call Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa. Call right now, 303-534-0163, 303-534-0163, or check them out at helpforringing.com.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops in your kitchen, you need to call Art of Granite. They sell you the stone at the wholesale price and only
Is that the original caller? Dan, put your headphones on. Who am I doing? Kevin?
Okay. Right. Okay, very good.
Okay? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Problem with 2 dealerships.
What were you going to say about the rest of it?
They passed a amendment to the declarations, and I can't tell that they say that the amendment specifically says it's the declaration banning smoking. Then they reference the declaration, and it just talks about nuisance, really, that it's a nuisance provision, these sort of annoying.
Hold up, guys.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on house rates, and what I mean by that is mortgage rates. Right now, the 30, the 15, you know, they're not all-time lows, but they're pretty close to it, and everybody knows rates are just going up. You gotta call Ideal Home Loans. Maybe you're in a 30-year right now, and you're 2 years into it, you're sick of paying that interest. Do you realize they can actually do a custom term loan? You could get a 15, a 10, an 8, whatever you want, and please, if you have an extra money and you're in a 30 right now and you can afford a little more, look at a 15. You're going to save on interest, but over that 15 years compared to a 30-year, I mean, you can save hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that can go right towards your retirement. You got to call Ideal Home Loans. Brent Ivinson is great down there. They do the pre-approval. They got the rate guarantee, the custom term loan, and credit optimization. If you're a first-time buyer, they have different options for you. They know it all. Call them right now, 303-867-7000. Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000 for your ideal home loan. All right, folks. Tom always gets mad when I say that. You can't say folks. I'm learning. I just have said it my whole life. It's hard not to say it.
You could call them people.
No, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. I don't know how to explain it, but if you think about it, when you're in your car, I listen to talk radio every single day. This station, other stations, all stations. In fact, I'd say a lot of people in this room and in the other room do. But you're talking to an individual. If you think about it, I'm talking to one guy in their car. I'm not talking to a group of people. I'm not up on stage. I'm talking to an individual. But what people don't see, I said it again, people. But even when I'm in a group, I talk that way, don't I, Suzanne?
Yes, you do.
I mean, it can be 4 of us, and I'll call them folks. I don't even know how to stop something I've done for 44 years. But I'm trying.
Could you call him friend?
No, that's just it. It's like a direct I can't explain it. You've got to be a professional like myself in order to understand where I'm going with this, Daphne. Kenny has got an update. Kenny,
no, Dan has an update for him.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Kenny, we have an update. So, Dan, you called over to Mountain. What is it actually called?
It is Mountain Chevrolet, right?
Okay, so Mountain Chevrolet, and if you're just joining us, Kenny called last hour. He had an appointment set up for a Friday or Saturday, I forget, but they basically screwed the pooch. They didn't get the vehicle done in time. He needed it, and we reached over there. What did you find out, Dan?
Okay, so I talked to Erica, and she was very forthcoming, Kenny, and maybe I didn't hear all your call, but she'd said that on Friday that, you know, normally they don't have those type of technicians in there to do that type of work, but they'll try to get it done, because you said that was the only time you could bring it in. Is that correct?
Saturday was the schedule.
Right, but you had...
I made that appointment with her on Tuesday the 13th, and I contacted her 3 times with no such conversation about limited personnel.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what she had said. Then she said, yeah, it did take longer than they thought it would do, and they offered you a free loaner vehicle because they couldn't get it done, and they would have it done Monday morning.
That is correct. I'm commuting back and forth from Arvada to Gibson.
Wow.
I had going back from Gibson in my pickup truck, which I took back Sunday morning, and I made my my job description. I need my pickup truck.
So they tried to make it right. I don't know why you're complaining.
Well, I'd be oh, wait a minute.
Okay,
I mean, they're trying to make it better.
I spent $145 for nothing.
Yeah.
I have a truck that has potential damage to it. They had it since 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and she calls me at 12 o'clock saying we have these 4 things. It was scheduled for a 3-hour...
Hey, I agree with him. I agree with him. I'd be upset in this deal, too. I would be. I mean, he's got a lot of money in gas back and forth. This isn't...
Yeah, I know it takes a lot of time.
That airport's like 4 hours away.
People make mistakes, Mark. They make mistakes and get their timing wrong.
Of course they do.
Well, so she didn't say that they didn't have technicians and stuff that normally do that on Saturday? Because...
Then say something.
Yeah, why wouldn't they say that to him?
No, that's what she told me. They told her.
Don't try to cover up now.
Yeah, I still go with what he's saying. I don't understand why they made this. Did they offer you anything, like a discount if you still had it done or anything?
No, man, that wasn't even part of the conversation.
Yeah.
I just know I paid them the $145 for diagnostic. all I want to know is...
Oh, wait a minute. Well, wait a second. Kenny,
so 2 hours.
Kenny, hold on a second. So you did pay them $145?
Yeah, for the diagnostic and for their putting it up on the ramp or plugging it in.
You know what I would do?
I didn't remember.
Yeah, hold on a second. You know where I'm going with this.
I didn't know.
Go make that call.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the least they could do is that.
Right.
How do they argue that?
Right.
I mean, honestly, see what they say. I don't think they did anything wrong. There was a timing issue. But what kills me is this guy, you can just tell. He called the day before. He calls the morning. He talks to him when he drops it off. Everything's going to be fine. You're second in line, third in line, whatever they told me. And then, boom, closing time comes, and they can't get it done. I mean, it's not right.
Right.
At best, it's simply not right. Okay. David called Deluxe Roofing. We had a caller call in and say, hey, Deluxe Roofing did my roof on my house and my garage 4 years ago. It's got a 5-year warranty. And I called them up and said, hey, some shingles came off on the garage. And can you guys come out, see if it's warranty work or see what's going on? Can you come out and fix it? They said, no, file another claim. Didn't want to look at it, didn't want to do anything. We tried them numerous times. Daphne, they hung up on you, if I recall. Suzanne, when we called, they hung up a couple times today. And then let's see what David. David, did you call? Did they actually answer their phone, or did you get that odd click sound too?
I got the odd click sound. I called a couple of times. The first time I got about 3 rings. The second time I got 1 ring, and then I got 7 rings. But every time I called, I got the odd click sound. There was nothing. Nobody said anything. It's like the phone went dead.
So, I mean, if you had to guess, do you think there's actually a problem with the phone, or someone's picking it up and hanging up?
I would think somebody's picking it up and hanging it up.
That's what it sounded like to Suzanne, didn't it?
Sure did, Mark.
And then Daphne, you talked to him, and she actually told you they were going to hang up on you.
She said, I'm going to hang up on you.
That's the most politest hang-up ever.
That's because I'm kind, and so...
You know what, sir? I'm going to hang up on you right now. Click. I love that. Deluxe Roofing, by the way. If you want to reach out, see if their phone's working or not, I'd appreciate it. I just want to know if this is the right phone number. Hey, David, I appreciate you calling them.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of the show as well. 720-922-3058. That's Deluxe Roofing. If you want to use a roofing company that does work, then if you have a question of whether or not something's warranty, they just tell you to file another claim. You know, like that's cheap. Like that doesn't hurt you. Like there's no ramble. Just follow another claim. I love that. I mean, Brandon, isn't that a great answer? Well, you just follow another claim.
Right. We all want to have lots of claims on our insurance record.
Yeah, is this warranted? Just follow another claim. I'm Deluxe Roofing. Just follow another claim. That's it. Simple as that. By the way, click, click, click. 720-922-3058. That's Deluxe Roofing. I'll continue to warn people about them probably till, I don't know, till the cows come home. Isn't that what they say back on the farm? Deputy Dan, next to the crick.
Next to the crick. That's what you say.
Back in the farm. Yes, I understand. Beverly, by the way, 303-713-8255. One line open. Kevin's yelling at me to do another spot. Oh, I love doing this one. You know who it is? Stem cells. Here's why I love it. Tom's been getting these shots of these stem cells, and I got to tell you something. I have not seen him so happy in a while. His back has not been bothering him. He's getting them in his shoulder and his back, but his back is simply remarkable. I did not know anything about stem cells, and I was like, I'm curious to see what happened. I got to tell you, he's taken some of these treatments. They basically get stem cells, and they're the good kind. There's no controversy over them, but they get them, they inject them, and they go in, and they pretty much fix areas that hurt. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how they work, but I know this. Tom does it, and I guarantee his back is better than it's been for years and years and years. It doesn't matter if the pain's in the knee, the low back pain, the shoulder, joint pain, anything. How about just neuropathy? It doesn't matter. This stuff is very cool. And to find out more about it, you simply call them up and figure out when the next seminar's there, and you can go down and ask all the questions and see if it's right for you. It's simple as that. Just start living life again. Get out there. Get rid of that pain. At least look into it. There's no cost to looking into it. You can ask all the questions you want. Give them a call. See when the next seminar is coming up. 855-262-4040. 262-4040. It's Stem Cell Institute of America, and I got to tell you, I am with Tom every morning, and his back has never been better. You got to give him a call, 855-262-4040.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers. I don't know why they don't rename it.
I don't know how long it usually takes when somebody files a restraining order, how long it takes for that to be implemented.
Well, usually it's going to start out with a temporary protection order, and that's going to be immediately upon service of the protection order once it's actually served.
Okay.
And you can get that the same day. So if you go down to the courthouse in the morning, you'll get your protection order by noon. You can go to the sheriff to have it served, or a private process server. Generally, you don't have the sheriff. You also have
People are saying that they won't serve it for like 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
No, that's
And I can't
not
get
right.
the district attorney's office the same thing down in Pueblo. We have 4 young girls living in an apartment, and this guy freaking out, and it's escalating. I left messages.
Hit her in a public place.
Yeah, he hit her in a public place. We have a recording. And I called and left messages. I said, if anything happens to these young people, we already have all of this documentation, and you guys aren't doing it. Can't get the DA to call me back.
Are we still doing iHeart apps?
That's really unusual. Yeah.
There's something wrong
They
with
usually go pretty quickly on protection order stuff.
So when we first started calling, the police department said we don't just serve the warrant. So they sent us to the DA. The DA said no, we don't do it. Send us to the sheriff's department. The cops said we don't do it.
So the way the statute reads, you have the sheriff's department do it, but if it does turn out that there's a law enforcement's on site, you can go to the police officer to serve it. But generally, you need a private processor or the sheriff to do it. But you can't have a police officer do it if they're in that circumstance at that moment. They don't have a civil service department like the sheriff's do.
And he has 3 warrants, and they won't serve those either. And they're like, we're actually going to waive one of them. It's like, well, it hasn't even gone to court. How come? I mean, it's very confusing. Right. They're speaking in circles, and nobody is taking care of it.
Thanks.
They're like, we can't do anything. She's like, I have a restraining order. 911. They don't even show up. Nobody's there. Wow. So I told them.
You know, the warm weather's here.
And people tend to drink more in warm weather, and we don't want you drinking and driving, but I got to tell you, if you make that choice and you get caught, which you will eventually, I want you to call Joseph A. Lazare. I hope you never need him, but really, any criminal activity that you find yourself in, or people that you know, you got to have good representation. And I got to tell you, this guy is a skilled trial attorney, Joseph A. Lazare. Joe knows. Joe knows. In fact, I like that. The more I think about it, Joe knows. In fact, here's what Joe will do for you. If you call up and mention the Troubleshooter Show, he'll give you a free consultation, 100% free, and up to $500 off. But listen, don't go at it alone. If you find yourself in criminal trouble, you call Joseph A. Lazare. It's one of those numbers. Just write it down, keep it with you, and you know if you're high risk out there. I guarantee there's people out there right now that should be writing this number down, putting it in your wallet, your purse, your glove box, wherever it goes. Maybe your kid finds himself in trouble. It doesn't matter. You got to have good representation, and there's nobody better out there than Joseph A. Lazare. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Write it down, 303-429-6200. You know, this smoking issue, everybody and their mother has a comment on it. I feel bad for that lady. So she was 79, if I recall. It's the first hour today. Says, hey, my neighbor's like a chimney over there. Doesn't matter. It comes in through the window. It comes in through the walls. You know, and then the woman that smokes actually put duct tape over the light sockets. She put weather stripping on the bottom of her door. She's done everything but, you know, the smell of cigarettes. You're not going to get rid of that. And legally, the smoker really has no issue. Brandon, you looked at it. You know, with the exception of some nuisance laws, it's hard to do anything.
Yeah, you know, with this specific condominium association, they actually appeared to grandfather it in. So had they not done that, they're...
Yeah, and they did. So they said, hey, you can smoke.
It does look like it. It is a little tough to see exactly.
God, it would cost so much to hire someone to go after this. I mean, it really would. I mean, but really, it's more, if it's a nuisance law, it would be criminal. Right?
No, you can enforce nuisance as a third-party beneficiary in a condominium association against others. And there was a case in Jefferson County that successfully did that.
What happened?
They had a nuisance provision, and the case is a little tough to interpret because it looks like there's just a nuisance provision, but they reference in the case that there was specifically no smoking provision, but they don't cite the smoking provision. So it looks like nuisance was at issue. The trial court in that county said that they could enforce. There was a smoker that actually brought a lawsuit against the HOA.
For changing it.
Yeah, for saying don't enforce this. And
so what happened?
Well, they said it is a valid enforceable
and they enforced
provision. So that isn't enforcing it. It was actually just a declaratory judgment. So the court said, yes, it's a valid provision. It was validly
applied.
It was valid. They hadn't applied it actually yet. They just passed it. So the smoker tried to stop them from enforcing it by bringing a lawsuit to preempt that. The court said this is a valid provision. It was voted in. In this case, it was voted in by 3 of 4 unit owners. So they needed to have that 75%. They got the amount to apply it to the people that lived there at the time. Now, this situation we're in, they had a vote to apply it prospectively. Yeah, so that's where these cases are a little different.
It's crazy. It is a little different. And, man, think of all the money that smoker spent trying to stop that from going into effect.
Right, and they had done everything and anything, apparently, the HOA in that case, to blow foam and insulation into the walls. They had re-insulated some walls. But there was all the HVAC systems were separate to the units, but there was a single soffit area
where all the wires are running.
That wires and conduit was running, and that was where the smoke was. There was no way to do that without it.
It's like wind. It's going to come in wherever. It's going to find its way in.
Yep.
Todd, what's your comment on it?
Yeah, not that this is going to help her or anything, but you commented something about other smells earlier. In San Diego, about 10 years ago, I believe, the city passed an ordinance requiring bakeries to add scrubbers.
You know, leave it to California.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, they checked me for fruit as we were driving in last week.
Who wouldn't want to smell bakery?
No kidding.
Who would? I mean, like...
That damn cake smell.
But, yeah, there was bakeries that closed down because of it.
That's just insane. You know, and here we are. I don't know what the laws are on marijuana, but because I had someone next to me years ago that was growing dope legally, every time that stuff would bud or whatever it does and they go to harvest it, the pollen was unbearable, and there was nothing set up against smells in Denver. I even had them out. They could smell it. He kind of looked at me like, there's nothing we can do. There's no fine I can give them. At the time, they didn't have to have any, air cleaners or anything. I don't know if they do anymore. I sure hope so. I appreciate that comment, though, Todd. But California, leave it to them. Leave it to them. I said this first hour. Here we are. We're driving from Nevada into California to go to a wedding. Next thing you know, on the highway, 15, everything just stops. I'm like, what the hell is it? I thought I was crossing into Mexico. They're searching for fruit. They want to know if I have any bananas or apples. What the hell are they doing in California? It doesn't even make sense.
Yes, we have no bananas. Good one, Daff. And they're searching for plants, too. It was an agricultural search.
Yeah.
Not just a fruit
You don't
search.
even know who sings that, do you? You think you know more than me.
I did
Is
not
that
say
Jim
that.
Croce?
No, that is not Jim Croce. Chaplin. His name, I believe, is Charlie Chaplin. Although, wait, maybe he's a comedian.
He never spoke.
Maybe he was
a comedian.
Maybe he wasn't the
I don't
singer.
think Charlie Chaplin...
Damn it, I'm pretty sure it's Chapin, it's something like that.
Charlie Chaplin never spoke.
Harry Chapman?
That's him. Harry Chapman. See if he does
like Charlie Chaplin.
100,000 tons of bananas. That's a true story. Did you know that? Truck driver coming down from the hills at something, Pennsylvania, and the truck goes over and spills like 1 million pounds of bananas. Absolutely insane. Speaking of insanity, Mark, what's going on with you? Mark?
Yeah, hello, Mark.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Mark.
Yes, what's going on?
Yeah, I have a problem with a couple of car dealers.
2. Why?
Well, the first one was Nissan on 104th.
What's the problem?
Well, they took too long to notify me whether or not they could get my financing done, which the regulation is Colorado Rules 12-8-118. They have 10 calendar days.
Yeah, but this goes even like with the title. They're supposed to get the paperwork over, I think, in, I want to say 30 days, but they can extend it forever. No, but hold on. I like what you're saying, Mark, but I want to understand. I want people listening to understand, too. What were the damages? So you couldn't buy it. Did you have any damages?
Well, yeah, because I didn't make my payment. They said they were going to finance me, so I didn't make my payment, so that made my credit, 30 days later.
Wait a minute. So, okay, now you got me totally confused. If you had to make a payment, they must have got you financing.
They're going to give me financed.
Okay.
That was number one. Number two is when they finalized the deal, they sold my trade-in before the deal was finalized.
Well, what's the damage? Are you in the new vehicle now?
No.
So what happened to it?
They took it back.
Okay. And then what'd they do about your trade-in?
They sold it.
But what did they do about it? Did they give you the money they sold it for? Did they give you the amount they gave you?
It's against the Colorado regulations, though.
I understand, but okay, Mark, here's what I'm trying to get to is what is the damage here? In fact, Suzanne, I don't know if we have time. Let's get Bob the car guy on. Hold on. And the reason I say that is, listen, Brandon, you know this more than anybody. Okay, I know you're supposed to have your title work to DMV within a certain amount of time, and there's a lot of times it's not there. They're also supposed to have title in hand before they sell you a vehicle. A lot of times it doesn't happen. They got to get it from somewhere else or file a loss. These things, I realize they're supposed to be done in a certain amount of time. But if they're not, if there's no damages, what the hell, who cares? I mean, what do you think?
Damage is a huge aspect of it. Also, the aspect is, are they acting in good faith? Just because you have a technical breach doesn't mean it's a material breach, doesn't mean they're acting in bad faith.
Now, if they can't deliver a title, and I'm using that as an example, in 90 days, and you can't get a temp anymore, at some point you make the argument, hey, guys, I want to undo the deal. You can't get me a title, and I'm sick of going to DMV every 30 days. But I'll tell them this. If he went to Rocky's Autos, he wouldn't have had this issue. Simply wouldn't have had it. They've got 40 great lenders to choose from. They've got the best pricing out there. They're not high pressure. They give you better trade-in values, and I promise you, they're not going to sell your trade-in because when you leave there, the deal's going to be done. They're great people. They've got the product down, the price down, the process. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. Just listen to me. Go down and check out their lot. I'll give you the phone number at the end, but just go down and check out their inventory. You can also go to Rocky'sAutos.com, but just drive down to 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a car, 63rd and Federal. We've been talking about these guys for years. Go to Rocky's Autos, 303-426-4646, 303-426-4646, 63rd in Federal.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Well, the drive around town right now still being slowed by a couple of problems. First of all,
That was smooth.
You are actually really, really good at that, Mark. You really are.
I do have to take off. I got a site visit I got to get to.
Thank you for your help with that. I so
Well, let me bring one
appreciate
thing
it.
up before you leave that.
Sure.
Well, I'm just going to
Oh, you
push
were
what
trying
you
to call
do.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
give your phone number out. So talk about the different, we'll do it since you come back.
So he actually got the Jeffco ruling. We got that from a listener, from a folk, that sent me an email, and then I told him about it. So that was kind of
It's
cool.
an interesting case. It's kind of an anomaly because most
Yeah.
of the time people don't want to go down that road of trying to determine whether smoking's a nuisance because you end up with a war of, the people that smoke, the people that don't smoke, and whether they want to smoke.
And this one, the smoker brought it to court?
No.
Couldn't a smoker argue?
Yeah.
To stop them from enforcing their new
And then
provision. But their mission is being a smoking provision, but then they just talk about a nuisance provision. So.
Couldn't a smoker argue damages too if he has to move because he can't give up?
Look what I found. I'm going
Nuisance.
shopping.
And he's doing.
Oh.
And he's gonna live longer now? No, he's gonna pay more money to live longer?
Nuisance is like careless
There's the
driving.
damages. Son of a bitch, I was planning on dying at 77.
Line 1 talked to Lux. She got nasty. Do you like my yes? We had no bananas.
So it was 80,000 pounds of bananas.
I didn't hear you. It's just coming right up.
30,000 pounds.
I made really good banana bread yesterday. I made it with honey instead of sugar. It turned out so. I did, and it called for a
lot of banana bread.
so it called for a cup of sugar.
Hold on, guys.
Coconut sugar.
630 KHOW.
I am going to give you the straight skinny on this company. It's Paradigm Interiors. I've been to their showroom. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you want carpet, you want high-end, mid-end, maybe you're just replacing a rental unit, you got to call Paradigm Interiors. They also do this luxury vinyl that's incredible. Some of it's actually waterproof. In fact, most of it is. You got to check out the luxury vinyl. It's not like your mom's vinyl or that old vinyl. You got to check that out. Then, of course, they do tile. They do carpet. They do hardwood. They'll come to you. If you want them to come out and measure and check everything out and bring their showroom to you, they'll do that, or you can go to their showroom on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. It's a gorgeous showroom, by the way, but anything you need, 14 years in business, I can't talk about these guys highly enough. You got to call them up when you need flooring. If that carpet's 7, 8 years old, call these guys up. You'll find they beat a lot of prices out there, if not all of them. You can reach them at 303-630-9204, 303-630-9204, or check them out at referralist.com. All righty then. 303-713-8255. You know, what was the one where they do it gangster style? Gingham
style.
Gingham style. Kevin, what happened to the good music? Who let the dogs out? Gangnam style. My God, man. I don't know what to say.
Hold on. Did you just refer to that as good and Led Zeppelin as not?
No, I didn't say Led Zeppelin wasn't good. I'm saying Gangnam Style. Come on. Come on.
I've lost... Yeah, I'm a loss for words right now.
Mark, you are such a nerd.
You know, Greg talked to Deluxe Roofing, and if anybody was listening this hour, Deluxe Roofing, this caller calls him and goes, hey, some shingles blew off. And I don't know if it's warranty work. I don't know what. They didn't want to look at it. This is according to the caller. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to do anything. They just said, file another claim. That's like that lady that smokes. File another claim. My name's Nancy. So anyhow, then we call them up. You called them up. They hung up on you, Deputy Daff. Suzanne, they hung up on you twice. We had other callers call up who they hung up on. They're the king of hang-ups. I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Greg says he actually talked to him. Greg, what happened?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, I got a hold of some lady, answered the phone, and I told her I was calling about them being on the Troubleshooter show, Tom Martino show, and her first question out of her mouth was, this the same Tom Martino who hit his wife in the face?
Oh, yeah. You know what?
2013.
Yep.
And I said,
Backs
I'm
against
not
the
sure
wall.
Yeah, we talk about that.
That's why I'm not calling about that. I'm calling about the problem. And she just kept going back to that. And because I'm female, he has no credibility because he did that.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. Well, first of all, Greg, I appreciate you calling these Deluxe Roofing up, these, in my opinion, scumbags that won't even go check stuff out. But because you said that, I got to follow up with this. A lot of people don't realize this. Yeah, when charges were up, guess what? It's in the paper. It's everywhere. How about when every single charge was dropped? No one seems to talk about that because it's not news. But I understand that. Tom understands it. And what is the first thing companies do when we go after them? First thing, I had it from that damn, the one in the Springs. Yeah. Well, I work for this company Mark did a Chapter 11 on when he owned his good. Yeah, blow me. Excuse me. Go ahead. Is that okay?
It's stage one.
It's stage one. I mean, I'm not even sure what to say. But I got to tell you, it irritates me. 303-713-8255. Who do I need to go to?
I don't think you finished with Mark on 4, but maybe you did.
I wanted to talk to Bob.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. Sorry, busy back here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Did you hit it too? Isn't it sad when I got to hit my own button? How often does that happen, Kevin? You can be honest. It happens more than most people.
On this show?
Well, maybe not on this show, but other shows.
You're the only ones that actually use their own dump button, so it happens quite frequently.
Right.
But everybody else, it's normally my job to take care of, so...
You're right, it's always right here. I get so mad when people do that. We call up about a problem, and they deflect like I've never seen. Like I've never seen. This guy that I was talking about, this Springs Auto, brought up something, a Chapter 11 I did on Colorado Car Care like 10 years ago. But whatever. I don't even... I hate deflecting. Brandon Siglian, I appreciate you being here. Please tell everybody, you order a small business seminar. You do a little of everything, and I don't say that in a bad way, but when it comes to business law, you cover the full gamut.
I try to know what I'm doing. That's what I try.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that use you, and I've gotten actually a lot of good comments from you, but you also specialize in tenant-landlord. Whether you're the tenant or the landlord, you can help them out.
Yep.
You can help them evict, or you can help them stay in if it's possible, or help them get out of their lease if that's possible.
Yep.
And you also do contractual law. If I want to set up a LLC or do something like that, you can help.
Yep. And right now we're doing a lot of real estate closings, so help out with that.
You know, I've always said, you realize, you probably know this, you're an attorney. In New York, you got to have an attorney.
New York, you do.
Yeah, and I don't understand. I think it should be that way. Any commercial deal I've ever done, I've always had an attorney. And the last deal I done, I used Frank Duran, the real estate man, that I know he knows everything about contracts. He stays up on them. In fact, Frank Duran actually pays an attorney once a month or every 2 months to keep him up on any changes, which is remarkable. But my whole point with this is I still had one of my attorneys with me that's done a lot of deals for me. Present at the closing. So I think that's a very smart thing. What number? Give a number out, sir.
720-344-4828.
Yeah, Brennan Siglian, any questions, you'll talk to people for free too, right?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, and you know what? I want to put a plug in for you guys because you guys are the only guys out here doing this stuff for helping consumers out. So,
well, I appreciate that.
You know, I got to give hats off to you guys. You guys are always plugging other people, but you deserve some a pat on your backs as well.
Thank you. Can we please cut that out and save it, and I can replay it numerous times when Tom's here. All right, 303-713-8255. Thank you, Brendan. I do appreciate that. And let's see, Beverly, what's going on with you? Beverly?
Yes.
How can I help you?
Well, I wanted to tell you, about a week and a half ago, I got a call from a California number that I'd won $10.3 million because I had either purchased something at Walgreens or Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, I did purchase something at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're targeting senior citizens because I'm almost 87.
Yeah.
Well, I told them I wasn't interested, blah, blah, blah. Well, they kept calling back. Then another man called back. I kept his number. So finally I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to play with them.
Beverly.
They wanted me to make out a money grab.
You're playing with fire. You didn't give them any money, though, right?
Huh?
You didn't give any money, did you?
Oh, hell no. You know what I did?
Hold on, I like her. Get her info. Let's have her back on tomorrow. I like how she commented there towards the end. All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, 303-MARTINO. That number works on and off the air. You can also always email us. We'll call you back either before or after the show at live, L-I-V-E, at troubleshooter.com. My name's Mark Major, and save all your problems for us.
He's good except for Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Blondie, I said. I'm like, as soon as I said it, I'm looking at Kevin like, can I say that? And then I'm thinking, probably not.